coming with the implosion of our Imperium, and it's coming with the rapid degradation of the ecosystem itself. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's how we cope with this change. Will we respond actively? Will we learn to speak to the world with a new humility and recreate structures within our own communities for sustainability? Or will we continue to live in illusion? And in a way, it's a matter of awakening ourselves to our new reality and responding to it.
Start this piece of shit. It started like 5 minutes ago. I've just been sitting here listening to the music because I like it. And if you can understand this, then you'll understand the show. Well. Well. Welcome back to another episode of the best, worst show on the internet. Let me tell you, this show is garbage. Anyways, welcome back. I'll be your host today. My name's Manuel Chavez III, or the Turd, depending on how you know me. And this is Griftcast IRL, baby. Used to be DeFango TV till that shit got shut the fuck down. Why did it get shut down, DeFango? Why did you get shut down? I don't know why I got shut down. There could have been 1,000 reasons that I was shut down, as opposed to anybody that should have been actually shut down. But then again, that's just very vague and floofy and all over the place. But I do hope that you guys are having a pretty good time. I've been having a good time playing Fallout 76 and enjoying the Fallout TV show and getting ready for the nuclear apocalypse. And I mean, other than that, I feel like there's just a lot going on. And there's already a guy asking about what's up with the teddy bears on the stream? What do you mean, what's up with the teddy bears? It's not my teddy bears. That's Jeffrey Epstein's teddy bears. Actually, that's from the dump. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff out there that be happening in the dump. Yeah, dump. But anyways, there's been some developments in a very old story. I mean, it's fucking been like 8-9 years now since we first started talking about that guy, the Epstein character. Man, I remember like 2016, 2017, not a single motherfucker was talking about him. Nobody even cared or knew his name or anything like that. But people cared about pizza. They cared about a lot of things happening over on the East Coast. There was some shit about some gates. Do you see what I did there? Anyways, there was just a whole lot of nonsense that was going on. And, where was it all coming from, man? It was all coming from 4chan. What was I saying, man? I was like, this is fucking 4chan place, man. It used to be something awful. And then after something awful, it was 4chan, right? And like, people just forget about all of that shit. How the internet used to be cool. And how, like, back in like 2008, it was like new territory, and now it's just fucking recycled AI garbage, gobbledygook. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But you know what? In with the good and out with the bad. At least we have technology. And if you're wondering where I got the thumbnail for today, I acquired that photograph from none other than the man, Jeffrey Epstein himself, dude. I went to jmail.world. Baby, and then I got all his emails, I got all the pictures, everything archived, but it's in a nice like little fucking package or whatever. So it looks like Gmail, and I'm pretty used to Gmail, so I can look at some Gmail all day long. Like, you want me to go page by page on freaking the DOJ's website and have to click that I'm not a fucking robot every 5 seconds? No thanks, you can suck a dick. I don't want to do that. You can do that. That's you. That's not me. That's you. But I have been just seeing fucking crazy amounts of posts of people proclaiming and exclaiming what they know and what they think they know and whatever. And I'm just like, guys, like, I've been so far out of this shit. Like, dude Dunn went to jail, right? Dude Dunn, checked himself out of life, right? And, yeah. Ghislaine Maxwell, she's still in jail for trafficking children and other things to nobody. And they keep telling us that it's nobody, but now we know that the nobody might not be nobody, right? Because, like, I remember to my multi-part investigation that I did in Steven all those years ago. 8 years ago, it says right there. 8 years ago, bitch. 8 fucking years ago. Before AI was a thing and before anybody was trying to, like, right there in the blockchain, I'll good old Steam it. That's how long ago it's been since we've been looking into this stuff and doing open source intelligence and using crowdsourcing to get things together. And even then, I'm seeing people are saying that, oh yeah, see, Q was the Jews. Jeffrey Epstein was Q. We figured it out. We got the fucking thing. I think I've seen some shit that Jeffrey Epstein apparently is also Satoshi Nakamoto. I've seen a whole lot of fucking shit. There's just a whole lot of shit that's been seen, right? And I just laugh because I'm just looking at all the names and stuff, and it just looks like my investigation was fucking tits, dude. I did a good fucking job. I actually got the right people and the names and the everything, and it's all there for all the fucking world to see. And it's so funny because people try to tell me that I did it, and then I throw this up there, and they're just like, actually, yeah, you did a whole fucking thing. You had a whole fucking thing. I did. I really did. We did videos and we had all kinds of content. And guess what? Deleted. Gone. Forever. YouTube. Fuck you, Fango. You suck a D. You suck a motherfucker. Okay, yeah. So I don't even know what it is. And it's been hard for me to go live. I've been wanting to go live, but I've just been wanting to play video games and, veg out because I know I've been waiting. I've been assembling the armor and shit. Look, I think I need to call my brother, too, because it's his birthday. Should say. I don't think I missed my brother's. I just thought about that right now, and I was like, it's my brother's birthday. E-E-O-R-D-E. Happy birthday, motherfucker. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you old piece of shit. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his birthday's tomorrow. Thanks for reminding me, chat. You guys didn't even know that. I just was like, oh yeah, my brother. It's his birthday tomorrow. It's fucking February. Shit. What I hate. You try to get back into the game. You want to start doing shit, but you can't, dude. You used to be in your prime, and it was blown, right? And now you got all these dumb motherfuckers out there trying to act like they know things, inventing emails and shit that didn't get said, throwing it up with the AI, and then, yeah, AI, completely fucking ridiculous in this whole entire situation. Like, unless you literally go one by one on the DOJ website, there's really no way of saying that whatever you're looking at, whatever people are tweeting is actually real, unless you actually go fucking page by page and read through it. So that's why I recommend, if you actually do care about that stuff, go to Jmail. Jmail.world. That's what it is. Jmail.world. And it'll whip up all of the DOJ stuff. Apparently, allegedly, hypothetically, theoretically, this is almost all of it. Maybe they keep updating it. I don't know. But they got contacts and shit. So, like, it's just like if you're looking at your own Gmail account. Look, they even got the little thing. Hi, Jeffrey. Right? And they've updated it. They got J Photo, bitch. They got J Photos? What? It's Google Photos, but for Jeffrey Epstein? Come on, man. That can't be real. Nah, motherfucker, it's real. It's a real. We got Bill Clinton swimming with naked bitches. That's blurred out. We got fucking Jeffrey Epstein with a whole bunch of shit. Mick Jagger, Donald Trump, Noam Chomsky, Richard Branson, Woody Allen, Alan Dershowitz. Only you got one picture with them, though. But yeah, there's like a lot of stuff. Steve motherfucking Bannon, Bill motherfucking Clinton, Kevin motherfucking Spacey. Yeah. But legitimately, there's a lot of photos. There's a lot of videos. There's a whole lot of stuff here. And it's just a much better way of grasping the stuff. And obviously the things are redacted because, that's how that was allegedly released to us. But ultimately, you got to realize that this is some pretty extraneous shit. I mean, you're getting a glimpse into the life of a playboy, pedophile, billionaire, philanthropist, science guy, the island guy. Right? But that's what we're looking at here. That's what we're seeing. And it's just kind of suspect as fuck, right? Because if you go through his emails, he was all over the place. You can see everything. I mean, hell, you even have Gemini. Get it? Gemini? You got Gemini over here. You can ask Gemini to find you stuff. Be like, yo, show me all of the pedo emails and it'll pull it up for you and shit. Or you could just search it like Gmail too. You could just be all like, I don't know. What would be a good thing in here to search? I don't know, like pizza, right? Everybody loves pizza because it seems like Jeffrey Epstein loves pizzas too, because we got 197 emails with references to pizzas. No ham for guests, stew, pizza, pasta, Friday night. We're going out. Let's go eat some pizza. Yeah. I know that would probably trigger a bunch of people, but we got the emails, baby. You could go look it up. You want to find torture in there? You're probably going to be able to find it. You want to look up little girl? You sick fuck. Anyways, they got him there. He seems to talk about little girls a lot in here. There's 9,094 pages of results looking up the words little girl. That's pages. And there's 50 emails, I think, on each page. So, like, if you want to do them, let's do the math real quick. Yeah, dude. So if you have 50 emails by 90, there we go. Yeah, 454,700 emails. That's a lot of fucking emails to be mentioning some little girls in, motherfucker. Like, goddamn. I mean, pizza? Go back to pizza. Like, we gotta be, we don't have to be anything, but, like, we might as well look that one up. How many references to pizza in here? And I'm being informational while also at the same exact fucking time making fun of, like, everybody that's probably researching this right now. Yeah, only 9,850 times. 850 times. So you can see. It's not a conspiracy theory anymore, right? It was a conspiracy theory that cost me my channel and all my other bullshit. Had to deal with the Mossad, Jason Goodman, fucking Dave Hoffman, and all the motherfuckers. And now you started to understand why, right? You're understanding why they started coming out after me and for me and with me. And you got to realize there's something bigger happening here, people. Lunchy, where you at? I wanted to see you earlier. By the way, Lunchy is still alive. See, this is Lunchy. She is my dog. I love her bunchies. She is not a fake dog. She is a real dog. She's a real dog. She's a real nice dog. I really like her. She might be one of those illegals, but we gave her one of the green cards or the gold cards. Like Nicki Minaj. We're keeping this one. Anyways. What's wrong, Lunchy? You're looking at me like you're upset. You're upset because I picked you up when you were relaxing over there. Yeah. Yeah, those were the... Yeah, but anyways, not to sit here and rest on my laurels or anything, but there's a lot of people in the chat. I should shout you people out so that the Mossad can come to your house and kill you after they kill me or whatever. So anyway, Skywork 6009, who spoofed the Seth Rich files. It was George Webb. I thought we've been over this like 1,000 times. Why do people keep asking that? I don't get it. Hail Lunchy says Low Tech 42. Hail Lunchy. We got Christina XVII. I still have a bed for her. You have a bed for Lunchy? She don't need no more beds. You see how much fucking bedding she got? She got like 5 beds back there. She need another one. There's 2 fucking blankets. There's a pillow. There's a fucking bottom bed. There's another bed. There's the bed that she humps. I don't know what that's all about. Does she need another bed? Maybe. Phoenix Benjamin, thanks for showing up. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Hello, Virginia Olsen. Glad to still have you with us. You've been sick, but you're doing better. That's good. That's good. Well, I'm glad that you're still here, and I'm glad that you're at least able to hear me talk about these weird bullshits. What's up, Blacksmith? Mr. Blacksmith 899. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. What's going on, Fluffy Pig Bunny? Even though it says 6 unny. Fucking weirdo. Anyways, and what's up, Michael? Yeah, she made a little tent out of the pillow. Yeah, that's how she does it. I didn't teach her that. She just does that. She just goes under the pillow, and then she like burrows under the blankets, and then eventually you'll see her head pop out like right there. What's up, Michelle? So yes, we've been here. We're talking about these emails. So what was the first step? The first step, showing you guys where you can find them on your own, and probably the best way for you to look at them if you're used to Gmail, which you probably are because most of you are watching this on YouTube right now. So I would have to assume that each of and every one of you had a Gmail account of some sort. It would be weird if you did it. I would have to be like, how did you get these hacks? That's because that's not how it's ever worked. Hacks. But anyways, if you want to find stuff, you want to look it up. I mean, really though, it explains a lot. And I mean, the first one on the list of people is Elon Musk, of all people. He's the guy that was running around saying, oh yeah, Donald Trump's in the fucking Epstein files. Do you know what he didn't say? That he was in the Epstein files, which is some information that he probably should have said when he was saying it, but he didn't say it. Now he's like, oh no, it's not that bad. I fucking just stopped talking to him a long time ago. Well, Elon, we got emails going all the way up to 2014 between you and him. There's 138 emails in a total. Yeah. You shouldn't. Your cat has a Gmail, Mr. Blacksmith? Yeah, your fucking cat has a Gmail. That's how easy it is to have a Gmail. So, the more that you look into this, you'll get to see that, from 2009, by the way, you can't see it because it's behind my little picture right here, but I'll just open it up. August 26th of 2009. Hold up. Wait a minute. Elon Musk, you were reaching out to pedophile guy in 2009? That's a year after he was convicted of being pedophile guy. And you were still hanging? You needed the juice that bad? Maybe you did need the juice, but apparently you guys were homies, right? Because you got thrown into all kinds of different emails right here from like John Brockman to Pritzker. That's JB Pritzker. Nick, Elon Musk, W. Daniel Hills, Jeffrey Epstein, Larry Page, Salazar Kamar, Nathan Mahorvoid. I don't even know who half these fucking people are. Sean Parker? Motherfucking Sean Parker? You know that guy? Actually, I know a few of those people. Not a good feeling. Yeah. What's this? The Edge Annual Question 2012. Interesting. So that's probably how they met. Kimball and Boris are coming on Sun. Are you around? I have to be back in CA then. When do you leave? Any chance? Either late night or tomorrow, Jeffrey. What? Is there anyone at Solar City my guys could talk about electrifying the Caribbean or the New Mexico Ranch? Damn. This shit is real damning, dog. What is this? The easy correct assumption. Ketchup at NY. Interesting. How many people will you need for the heli to the island, to Elon Musk? Probably just to Lulu and me. What day or night will be the wildest party on our island? What day, night will be the wildest party on our island? Our island? Our island? Our island? Our island? Excuse me. In 2012. Excuse me, Elon. What island did you? What island are you talking about, there, buddy? I didn't know. I would love to come to Europe, but I have a confluence of SpaceX, Tesla, and Solar City at TV right now that makes the timing impossible. Saw your brother. He seems very happy. Do you know what your Europe plans are for yet? Yeah, dude, you want to come out? Fucking be getting fucked? Yeah. Let's aim for December 29th, 30th, or the 31st. Yeah. Interesting. They're making plans to party. Yeah, Tallulah and I are headed to St. Bart's at the end of the year. Huh. Okay. So, what are we supposed to even be getting from all of this stuff? Probably the fact that Elon Musk has been kind of fronted because he's just as good of friends, apparently, of Jeffrey Epstein as he was motherfucking Donald Trump. It's a fucking club. It's a fucking club, and you're not a fucking part of it. I don't know how long I've been telling you this. I mean, think about it. When we put together Q, we were doing all the Q stuff. What it was the one person that we didn't talk about at all. We talked about it on the show, and we directed everybody towards it. But in the very beginning of the whole Epstein thing, the one person that, or the whole Q thing, the one person that we didn't talk about in the beginning until after it got traction was who? It was Jeffrey Epstein. Why is that, right? Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. It's probably because there's some other emails in here that kind of like expose something about 4chan that I don't think a lot of people knew. Like, they did recently find out that apparently there was a big Jewish influence over there on that platform. And with it being kind of like, the asshole of the internet, I guess that checks out, like it checks out. It checks out. But when you're looking into these emails and shit, it's almost like there's a lot more here that meets the eye. And it's like, wait a minute. What happened with all of these guys? What happened with Christopher Poole and 4chan and Poll and all of that stuff? Because a lot of people have been talking about that. And sometimes you have to make selections of things. Like I picked 4chan for a reason. I stole their operations for a reason and got it done better for a reason. I made sure to not overtly point to them and make them seem like it was something that they could use to dissuade and disservice people from it, but ultimately always came forward in the same way. And, I think it really boils down to DEF CON, right? Like a lot of people heard me talking about that, and when you go into his emails, right, you're going to find a lot of references to DEF CON, where he was trying to go for very many years, pretty much right after he was hanging out with Elon Musk, during the time he was hanging out with Elon Musk. It seemed like he was really, 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 really pining to actually become a part of that, to the point of is that in 2018, apparently he was really trying to go to actually DEF CON. And Steve Bannon and him had been talking about this stuff. And remember, Steve Bannon was the White House strategist guy, the guy that went to jail, the guy that was trying to help get Trump elected, working for Trump's campaign. Do you see how this is looking, right? Like Trump could say, oh, I was the guy that was the confidential FBI informant that exposed him or whatever. But like, you and all your friends are literally hanging out with him and doing like interviews and shit with him. Like, here's Jeffrey Epstein. Have you ever heard Jeffrey Epstein's voice? Do you actually know what Jeffrey Epstein sounds like?
African countries, for example, they might have been a military person.
This is what he sounds like.
In some of the African countries, they might have been a disc jockey. Or in our country, they would have been an actor. The knowledge of money they don't have expertise, they have no degrees in finance. They really, and this is one of the major problems, their expertise, if they have any financial knowledge,
this isn't fake. This
is
is real.
Their own checking account.
This is an interview
in their own taxes.
This is an interview of Jeffrey Epstein, in between Jeffrey Epstein and Steve Bannon. Like, if we go to the beginning of it.
Before we get into the deep stuff, let's just talk.
There's Steve Bannon talking.
Some things I want to do, inquire from the others. Walk me through the Santa Fe Institute. What was it about the time?
Santa Fe Institute.
And this was in the
Santa
late
Fe, New
90s.
Mexico.
So they're not going to hear
Zorro
me on this
Ranch,
part, right?
New Mexico.
We're going to do it both ways?
It will not be on the video, but we do have you recorded.
Fine. Remember, when you're answering on these questions, I'm not in the shot, and they're never going to hear my voice. So a little bit, you got to repeat. In
They're
your answer, you got to
voice.
repeat what my question was.
Oh,
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Israel
Santa
is
Fe Institute.
definitely fake.
Why, when you're at the top of your game on Wall Street, do you decide to finance,
Top
which
of
was
your
at the
game
time,
in Wall
Lindell,
Street.
or become the donor or sponsor, however you want to say it, for what was considered the most cutting-edge group of mathematicians in the world? Action.
So Santa Fe Institute in the late 80s, early 90s, I was interested, I was on the board of Rockefeller. So that starts
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller University,
Rothschild,
formed by
Rockefeller,
John D. Rockefeller to sort of
John
give
D.
back to the
Rockefeller.
community. It's east side of Manhattan, except
Hey, George. Happy birthday. I think I forgot. Well, I sent you
it
a
was
happy birthday
old.
message.
It was sort of old-fashioned. They were talking about medicine, and medicine by itself was, again, subject to the ideas of science. They were trying to use science to find cures for disease. And I said, no, we need to do something different. We need to start interdisciplinary work.
Oh, no, yeah. It's
How did a
the
schmuck
12?
like you get on the board of Rockefeller? What year
It's
was
like
that?
the 5th.
I don't remember. I think 89 and 91.
So that's one of the most prestigious research places in the world, correct?
Yes.
Okay, how did a guy like you get on the board of Rock, a blue blood, internationally known, hard research, Nobel Prize winners all over the place? How do they pick a guy like you, a trader from, or basically some guy from
A
Bear
trader from Bear Stearns.
Good question. So I was asked to be on the board of Rockefeller, and I think it was, I was on the board of Rockefeller. There was a money manager who said, Rockefeller needs someone with financial expertise. Because
Dude, he sounds like the epitome of a Jew. Like, when you listen to Gabe Hoffman, he's got like that New York Jewish accent where he can he's worked really hard to get the femininity out of his voice, but not Jeffrey Epstein. No, like Jeffrey Epstein, he sounds like that waspy banker, weirdo, pedo guy that you've always heard of. I mean, once you hear his voice, like you just have to realize, like, if a guy like this didn't have money, he would.
the university is growing, and there's lots of
Where
new
did he
things.
get his
You have
money?
to, again, we
How
go
did
back
he
to
make
the,
so much?
the original discussion.
Where do you
of
get
last
the
night.
money to buy a
In
fucking
the, up until the
island?
mid 80s or sort of early mid 70s, the most important thing.
And this is an interview in between Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein. It was not a very high resolution video, but it was him discussing financial systems, complex theories, experiences in prison and it was all with Steve Bannon, where he was basically, Jeffrey Epstein was like, I guess, using Steve Bannon. Maybe Steve Bannon was trying to rehabilitate him in some kind of way, defending his philanthropic pursuits while also having serious ethical concerns and violations. I mean, it's just fucking crazy, bro. Fucking crazy. And then we get back to, like this collage. Somebody was like, where did you get that? These are collages. That's a picture from what he had. These are pictures that the government took of like collages and shit that were around his house that are blanked out. So I just put people's faces all over the blanked out pictures of people that, we know that they were hanging out with. But like literally, there's just a ton of pictures in here. To the point of where you could go through, there's 9,000 of them with unnamed people all over the place. But you know what? There's some names and some faces that you can pick up. There's also some fucking weird shit in there that I still can't believe is even in there. But, this is about as real as you can get. Look at these fucking titties, bro. God damn, son. Take a little testosterone. I mean, I've heard of bitch tits, but that's ridiculous, bro. Damn, I don't even think my titties are that big. I got the juice, but I ain't got that kind of juice. Nope. I mean, I guess that doesn't matter. We could just kind of roll through the pictures and see what they were doing. I mean, obviously, there's nothing in here that is overtly sketchy, right? Nothing that's just insanely too crazy. It just seems like some pictures that nobody would ever think anybody else would be seeing, plus a bunch of blanked out pictures that they had to blank out the entire picture of. So it's like, this is like what was on his iPhone, right? This is like the stuff that was on his iPhone, plus a mixture of everything else that seems to have been in there. And I mean, yeah, he's got some fucking weird shit. Separate vibrating functions for his and her pleasure, right? And then there's a lot of these things where it says item was not scanned because it's an audio cassette, or item is not scanned for X reason or Y reason. There's even some stuff in here that says the documents have not been designated as negative medias that have not been captured, because there was like a bunch of CSAM in here too. Yeah, you can see all documents and photographs and clothes have been digitized. Negatives and media have not been captured. So you can see that they had quite a bit on the Homeboy, plus a bunch of stuff that just doesn't even load. But I mean, if I go all the way to the bottom down here to where I was actually before, you'll start to realize that, yeah, item was not scanned. Description, CD. Some of the stuff has the CSAM, not scammed, 4 thumbnails. Doc Lab research instructions. Reserve March 10th. So, think about this. Yeah. Why don't we have an FBI if they haven't actually swatted anybody or arrested anybody is the question. So, what it shows us is that the FBI investigation actually did have a lot of evidence of stuff. They had evidence of CSAM. They had evidence of emails and stuff they still haven't released to us. Felt the need to redact names and stuff of some people and not redact names and stuff of other people. And yet we're all supposed to just sit here and believe that everything is A-OK, partner. Is that the way that I'm supposed to be looking at this? I mean, there's even video files for days. Nothing that seems to be too out of the ordinary, but you got to realize is that what is out there right now only represents about 1% of everything that is currently apparently available. I mean, 3 million pieces of evidence and documents and all that stuff takes apparently a long time to go through. But I don't know, like I had my AI actually go whip me up some information about this, where I had to do a comprehensive deep dive into this. And this was when the stuff got released. So like pre a lot of the fakiness stuff, and I had it go, I spent a lot of credits having to go through and read every document and review every image. And after that, I had it compile an entire couple of databases for me so that I could go do something with them later. But, it's a comprehensive list, man. We got detailed lists of key peoples, the emails, victim testimonies, the Trump allegations, the FBI investigation timeline, image and photo databases of about 180,000 images, a structured database of CSV and JSON of all of those things, supporting documents, including BBC article files, DOJ file structures, the file content that's been posted and where the information matters. The most key findings that it seems to have discovered, though, were probably the stuff that we want to focus on, because that seems to make the most sense, right? What's up, Super Guy Rob? Nice to see you. Nice to have you here with us. Also, nice to see you too, Gerald Riggs. I know you're fucking out there. I saw you saying some shit earlier. I just realized I didn't shut you up, buddy. But yeah, in the club, not in the club equals redacted, not redacted. Of course, if you're in the club, you got redacted. If you're not in the club, fuck you. Or if you were too fucking stupid and you got caught, you out the Illuminati, dog. The Enclave don't want you. Or whatever. So yes, the most shocking findings and revelations. Number 1, forced pregnancies, multiple victims' diaries described being used as incubators. The DOJ privacy violations, nearly 40 unredacted nude photos were published with faces visible. Yes. Prince Andrew's FBI evidence was on all fours and emails contradicting his claims. Let's see, FBI failures and tips received in 1996. The investigation didn't start till 2006. And then, the sweetheart deal. Acosta gave Epstein lenient deals, claimed he belonged to intelligence. And then throughout the emails, you see a bunch of his stuff where Jeffrey Epstein makes it seem like he's intelligence, but then, he goes and throws out there, though, like, I'm not Mossad. Actually, I'll go pull that up for you right now. Hold on. See, if I go look up Mossad, right, there you go. Yeah, right there. Sorry to burst all your guys' bubbles, but according to Jeffrey Epstein on December 17th, 2018, at 11:30 p.m., Not sure what time zone. He said, unfortunately not. You should make it clear that I don't work for Mossad. Smiley face. So, unfortunately, to all you people out there that really fucking, you really fucking wanted it. Apparently, he didn't work for Mossad, which I think is obviously horseshit. The smiley face obviously means like, yeah, I don't work for Mossad. I'm a Jew. We lie to the Goyim. That's what he was like. So, he does mention Mossad a lot, though. He does, right? That's a lot. Beginning edits. David Ben Gurion. What the fuck? Huh. And he's giving people information to say, oh, how nice is that? It's very nice. He's even got stuff with Ehud Barak, dude. Ehud, Jabor Ehud. Great pleasure to hear from you. I will not be here. Yes, get me connected. Ehud Barak is the former Israeli prime minister. So, if these two dudes were hanging out together and emailing each other all the fucking time, he said, Yoni, what the fuck? For Yoni, I would like you to personally call Dr. Harry Fish. He's the top guy in the U.S. He also has a drug company doing drug trial infrastructure. You speak Hebrew. You should give Harry a call. Yes. He said Yoni once he gets all of the Yoni details. More decisions. Is it Yoni, though, how you refer to a woman's vagina in a certain terminology? I remember that being something because I'd always hear bitches at the transformational videos. Oh, my yoni hurts. What the fuck is a yoni? You don't know? Oh, what the fuck? I'm supposed to fucking know this shit. Obviously, everybody doesn't know everything. Maybe it's just like a popular Jewish name. I'm not even Googling it. Not even Google it. What's up, Yobi? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, they started swatting smokers here. Such a reversal of the rules. Fill up jails and hospitals with sudden criminals, and now you have to pay for rehabs. But smokers' licenses come to our rescue. What's a smoker's license? I don't even know what that is. Steve Bannon has tomorrow morning if you want to do it. Yeah, Steve canceled. Wasn't sick. Come do it later. Yeah, let's hang out, Ehud Barak. Let's go get bitches. Larry Summers. Wow, dude. He had a lot of meetings with Larry Summers, but he was a fucking Michael Wolff. Yeah, Michael Wolff. Michael Wolff. I mean, this shit's nutty, bro. I'm not going to sit here and just start popping through everything. At first, we got to show people that the information is available. You can go watch all the videos. It's not like it's not able. You're not able and capable of researching this stuff early on because you are. You just got to get better tools to do it because the way the DOJ released it is just entirely terrible. It sucks dick. Like, you'd never be able to look through all that stuff if you're trying to click through it because they don't have anybody over there with like a fucking brain, apparently. No fucking brains over there at the fucking DOJ. Like, goddamn, son. Goddamn. Anyways, so highest profile individuals: Donald Trump, thousands of mentions, mix of verified connections and unverified FBI tips. Bill Clinton, victim testimony about orgies with young girls, and we got all those pictures of Bill Clinton naked in the pool with bitches. So, checks out. Prince Andrew, most damaging evidence is that he paid a settlement to a victim. Ooh. Bill Gates, fake viral email was fake. Written by Epstein to himself. Oh, okay. Reid Hoffman, 400 plus mentions, island visits documented. Ah, yes, Reid Hoffman, the guy that paid to have Donald Trump sued by E.G. Carroll for allegedly touching her vagina. Anyways, we got Lord Mandelson, received $75K, resigned from the Labor Party. Systematic failures. FBI ignored tips for 10 years. Cost us 2008 sweetheart deal instead of federal charges. Epstein suspicious death in custody. Only 2 people charged. Epstein dead. Maxwell in prison. 2026. Release violated victim privacy with thousands of mistakes. It was already way fucking late, and it's still late. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Indubitably. So yeah, like we we have a listing of most of the emails and stuff like that that were apparently allegedly put together. So, like on this list right here, we got the Bill Gates email talking about STDs, antibiotics was allegedly from him. It got like 2.5 million views plus the first day that it was out there. And yeah, that's a false email. It was actually by Epstein, written into himself. And then we get the source URLs for that stuff here. So yeah, I've trained my AI to do pretty good job. What I've been doing is opposed to asking the AIs to do everything, I have given it access to my browser so that it watches me browse, and then I show it what I want it to do, and then I ask it to replicate it, and then I stop in the middle of what I'm doing and I explain it to you. It's almost like I'm live streaming to it. Anyways, not important. What is important though is that we had a lot of stuff coming over here. You know, do we need to talk about the victim diary pages? No. Prince Andrew photos? Yeah. On all fours over women? Yeah. Widespread coverage was true. That's a real motherfucking picture. Real motherfucking picture. Let's see. Mar-a-Lago auction. Social media. Allegations of child auctions in Mar-a-Lago. Viral. Unverified tips. Yes. Unverified tips. Unverified tips. Hear that? Donald Trump. It was an unverified tip. Think about that. New York mayor mother was friends with Epstein. Could she be Epstein's son? I heard that the left said too. No, he's probably not Epstein's son's. Jewish guys don't like if you're a hardcore Jewish guy, you're definitely not copulating with the Muslim woman. I mean, like that's like cats and dogs for those people. I don't know. Maybe that's racist. I don't really care. Howard Lutnick, Island Commerce Secretary nominee planned to visit Island. True. Yes, that was the email. So yes, we do have a plan for Howard Lutnick actually going to the island, but we don't have any confirmation that he was actually in the island. Norway Crown Prince. Yes, had years of contact with Epstein's. Truth. Yep, it's all there. It's in the actual situation. The Norway PM admits poor judgment. Yes, very poor judgment. Victim bit Trump. Underage victim claims that she bit Trump. Viral. Comes from an unverified FBI tip that was located in the sources. Okay. Unactionable solutions. That's pretty. Whoa, Reid Hoffman, 400 mentions. LinkedIn founder mentioned 400 plus time. Documented, verified, true. If he was in there 400 times. Visited the ranch. Documented. Oh yeah, Reid Hoffman was the fucking big titty juicy bitch. I forgot. I was wondering why I recognized that fat fuck. So yeah, Reid Hoffman was the guy who, remember, sued that one company that we were working at that one time, the one that was stealing all of the information off of LinkedIn and allowing people to scrape it using their fucking algorithm or whatever. This shit was awesome. 5 study redheads. Maxwell and Andrew about 500. 5 study redheads. True. Email exists. Maxwell to Invisible Man Andrew. 5 other study redheads. We'll just all have to play with ourselves. Oh, we're all hot and we're going to play with ourselves. Anyway. So yeah, we have a lot. Let's see. 4chan poll meeting. News. Reddit. 4chan met Epstein days before poll was created. Moderately viral. True. Meeting documented. 4chan founder met with Epstein, and then the board poll was created days after. It raises questions about QAnon and Pizzagate origins. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah, why would it? Yeah, it's almost kind of weird. You remember how I was like telling you guys, like, the flow of the internet? It used to go from fucking something awful where people would plan to do stuff, and then it would go to 4chan, and that's where, like, the virality started happening, because originally it happened in something awful, but it got fucked up, so then everybody moved it over to fucking 4chan, but then Christopher Poole isn't even the guy that made 4chan. It was actually created by, like, 5 other guys, and the only reason that they put it on Christopher Poole was because he was, like, a young guy at the time, and they figured he wouldn't be able to go to jail for it, which he didn't. And then after all of that stuff, the motherfucker sold the shit to another guy in 2015. But yeah, it does exist. Christopher Poole was actually there, right? And it's being reported in a bunch of different places, and it does. Because if you think about it, who has been running all of those weird psyops, FBI non, Mega non, and all that shit? Remember, we spent time diving into the Cicada 3301 mystery, and where did we fucking end up, right? Like, you got to think about this for a second, because I feel like this is starting to really come together. Who was the first person that ever mentioned Jeffrey Epstein to me? Can anybody answer that in the chat for me? Probably not, but you know who it is. He who must not be named, even though that's not what we say. I just want you to say it as opposed to me to say it. The first person that ever mentioned that guy to me was right around the same time he started talking about this other character named Arnon Milchan, who is another friend of this Epstein character, who is also a very famous Hollywood director who worked to steal nuclear materials and other items that had nuclear potential for Israel, right? So, yes, Sewer Guy Rob says, TS, that's right. You know, who was the first person that ever told me about that was TS, right? And what did we discover years later after we finally were able to crack a little bit of the cage that was around that Richard guy, Richard Miller, for a while, the real Z, the real one that was in Cicada all the way back in, at least verifiably, to 2013, that guy, yeah, he was the one that really opened our eyes to it, because he's the one that has the emails with him that tells us what Thomas was doing before the puzzle. Because, you know, my portion only really had what happened just basically after I started solving the puzzles and on. He has all of the materials from before. So, like, when they saw me solving and how they decided to shift focus and to get me into more into it and stuff, all of a sudden, he mentioned the Jeffrey Epstein guy, and he was really angry that I had spent all that time basically going into it, because, you know, everybody remembers is he would tell me to either look into somebody or not look into somebody, and that I would always just do the opposite because I never trusted anything they were going with. But he was the one that put up the information about Arnon Milchan and Jason Goodman working together randomly, just two Jewish guys, right? A little conspiracy. And then right after that, he started talking about the Epstein guy, but he was like, yeah, we need to start taking guys like this down because, you know, like, they're funding everything. And if you think about it, all of the people from that little group, you know, we talk about Trevor Fitzgibbon, that Fox lady, although she seems to be a victim of this, still seems to be more victim-y in this whole thing, but I still don't believe it, not for a second. If you really start to think about this stuff, it's like, wait a minute. You know, they were trying to lead me the entire time that they were doing any of this stuff, but I was always at least a little bit of a step ahead, because apparently I'm just really good at playing a fool. I'm not even sure. But what's the whole Q thing? I made sure that they weren't involved in it. It wasn't their thing, but I wanted it to make it like a juicy thing, because we have seen in the past that there has been a proclivity by them to backdate materials and try to take things over. And that's what's happening with the whole Q thing right now. Like, Jeffrey Epstein never mentioned it, never talked about it or whatever. Steve Bannon, was he ever into the Q stuff? Not exactly. There was like Bannon associated people that were all up in that shit for real, right? You know, when you start thinking about the General Flynn's of the world and who was friends with General Flynn, fucking Schoenberger, you start to realize that even the last name is definitely kind of like a Jewish name. And then you got these 4chan trolls that are out there saying all this fucking crazy shit on the internet, trying to get it going viral and stuff like that. And then you realize that, you know what, did you accidentally like expose like the biggest pedophile ring in the entire planet, but you actually had to like fucking create a psyop that was better than their psyop so that they would take over that psyop and try to disinformation everything about the guy and people around it, and then all of a sudden they just get exposed like in 4K with their emails and shit, like exactly what I had to do to myself. Now it's like we're doing the same thing to this guy, but like post haste. Like, think about that. Think about what's happening right now. Because in 2017, nobody was talking about him until I started talking about him. I mean, there is already media and stuff out there about it. We have copious amounts of information that news people were talking about this person. And then I started talking about him. And then a little later it became a thing, but it didn't really start hitting until the 8chan era. And that's when it was far gone and beyond my grasp to do anything. So you got to think about this shit, dude. You know, Laurel Loomer was on Arnon Milchan's payroll. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah. If you think about it, we did the Milchan rabbit hole. We had videos researching Milchan. We had videos researching Epstein. All that shit got tanked. And here we are again, just looking at this stuff, and we're starting to realize is that we're in a new era, right? Where you actually have to do deep research before you even come in, and so that you can at least fucking debunk half of the stuff that's out there. Like, you know, Epstein did it off himself, disputed, real suicide. What's this? Trump cleared claim, disputed. Files contain allegations, although the allegations are unverified FBI allegations. So it's like, yeah, Trump, you were still his friend. You might have turned him in. There's still all the emails, but you know what? There's no proof, right? And the only reason that there's no proof is because you guys haven't released it yet. You see how it looks? Not a good look. It ain't a good look. What's this one? Ashley Marsano victim, unverified deeds claim. Unverified. Notice how there's not a lot of fucking unverified stuff. Robin Leach strangled child to death. Unverified tip. Why would that even have anything to do with it? Clinton Trump orgies. Victim witness orgies involving young girls and Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. Unverified. So yeah, there's like a lot of unverified stuff that was put out there just in the very beginning. Like, that's not even in the beginning. But looking at the different people associated with it, here's like 35 main characters that currently appear in some kind of way in the documents. Yeah. Look at that. Fucking Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner. Is it Brett Ratner, the guy that was working with Trevor Fitzgibbons? And wasn't Trevor Fitzgibbons trying to help Brett Ratner rehabilitate his shit? Damn, Trevor, I hope you never worked with this motherfucker. That would be some shit, right? Woody Allen. Steve Tisch, Casey Waterman, Howard Lucknick, Leon Black, Elon Musk. These are the people that it sees a lot of information about, but, you know, key people databases are here. Bill Gates does have photos with Epstein and meetings. There's photos of him, Gates and friends. Viral misrepresented emails about STDs and antibiotics. Gates Foundation called allegations absolutely absurd and completely false. And document reflects Epstein's frustration that he did not have an ongoing relationship with Gates. Interesting. Didn't really pick up that much, but, you know, like the main two things that we got out of there was that here. But that still doesn't even cover half of this shit where, like, people talking about this dude created Bitcoin or some shit. Like, here's one guy, Damian Slash.
So it turns out that I'm in the Epstein.
Damian Slash is currently freaking the fuck out because he's in the Epstein files. I'm just going to let you listen to this. It's parody of satire.
So it turns out that I'm in the Epstein files, and I just wanted to be crystal clear about my relationship with Jeffrey during that time between 2008 and 2013. I was looking to get some algorithms because I was starting a hedge fund, which is now one of the largest hedge funds in Europe. As you can see from the emails, Jeffrey's going on about Baal and talking about strawberry cheesecakes and burgers and cheese Doritos. I thought he was talking about food. I really did think he was talking about food. I mean, the guy had me bamboozled, completely bamboozled for the best part of 6 or 7 years. That's just the price you pay for networking. Sometimes you've got to do a deal with the devil, and sometimes the greasy pole's a greasy snake, and you've just got to ride it. As for those meetups that occurred between us, yes, there was one in New York. Jeffrey had invited myself and my now ex-wife to a dinner party with some of the biggest names in fintech and politics attending. My wife got a bad vibe from Jeffrey at that point. She went home. I stayed on a little bit. Jeffrey invited everyone back to the townhouse. And, I don't think I went in there. I don't remember going in there. I'd had a lot to drink. As for the island, yes, I did travel to the island on one occasion. There was a Labour MP, an actor, and another NGO literally sitting down, drinking cups of Lapsang Souchong tea, actual tea, and talking about
tea, bro.
The application of digital currencies in developing nations. I remember it like it was yesterday. Nothing untoward happened. It was essentially a vicarage tea party, and then I jumped on the next heli home, and that was that. It just really grinds my gears that this is potentially going to destroy my company, and all my investors and shareholders will pay the price because of one bunch of stupid emails between me and some guy who's not even alive anymore. It was a mistake. It was a mistake, but I will do anything. I will do anything for this company, for the shareholders. As a high net worth individual, sometimes you have to do things that don't make sense. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's fake, but that's what most of those people that are in the emails should be doing right now. Just be like, look, motherfuckers, I knew it, and I didn't give a fuck, because you know what? Fuck you. I would respect that more than saying nothing. Yeah. When you've been buying Bitcoin to opt out of the system, but discovered that Satoshi Nakamoto is Jeffrey Epstein.
They stole it from me, Carmine! They took it! That was today! Today!
Sorry, squids. Yeah. Why are people saying that? What? Jeffrey Epstein created Bitcoin? Hold up. I didn't see that in here. Bitcoin. Hey, I didn't even get that one. What is this? Damn. He was talking about Bitcoin a lot, apparently. Yeah. Donald, it was nice to meet you. Bitcoin is good. I'll be in NYC. Yeah, who the fuck is Donald, dude? E-Gold? But yeah, Jeffrey Epstein was apparently in contact with and making payments to developers of Bitcoin. Just talk to Seth. He's thinking about physics and money. I think we should have a meeting with Jeremy Ruman, Adam Back, one other core developer of Bitcoin, Seth and Mark Novak, you and a few others, on about money and the future of finance. Yeah. Epstein was the madame to the super rich, you think? So, USDT. Yeah, dude. Just got a bunch of pedo meme coin. Oh, shit. What's this, dude? Hello, Jeffrey. Did we not get our meeting arranged? There was more stuff in here about Bitcoin. All right, well, apparently there's allegedly supposed to be a whole bunch more stuff in here about Bitcoin. But yeah. How many people do you know that have sizable amount of Bitcoin? Actual coins, not future. And by sizable, I mean greater than or less than 50 million. I have an idea I just want to talk to you about. Yeah. There was crypto threads and people crashing the fuck out. These dudes are fucking wild. That's what you call a fucking firehouse meme right there. Wow. I met Epstein. Sorry, Satoshi. Scottie Pippen, probably. Yeah. There is no second best. Peter Saylor? Is that Peter Saylor, dude? I fucking hate these people. Yeah. Before he was killed in Ukraine, American journalist Gonzalo Leo laid out exactly how Zelensky was manufactured and funded by Israeli Jewish billionaire Kolomoisky. Even worse, seeing Epstein and the Rothschilds discussing opportunities.
On the people. Some people say it was completely astroturf. You see, Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, well, the cokehead of Kiev, because he is a cokehead.
Oh, he's got
The
USDT. He
cokehead
doesn't
of
got
Kiev
VPN.
is
Epstein
actually a
equal tether.
manufactured political figure. He was manufactured
Yes, that is
by
correct.
a Ukrainian Israeli Cypriot oligarch called Igor Kolomoisky. Now,
Kolomoisky?
Igor Kolomoisky was the man who owns 1+1 Media here in Ukraine. And 1+1 Media is the company that financed and produced the TV show Servant of the People. And Servant of the People hired Zelensky, a well-known actor in Ukraine, an actor with zero political experience or even any political interest. Well, they hired him to play the role of the president in this show.
Play the
Servant of the
role
People.
of the president.
Now, Servant of the People had huge ratings, but a lot of people say that it was really weird, the amount of propaganda and PR that was done for the show. It was disproportionate to any other show of any channel. The amount of PR, positive press, and
Yeah,
all the rest of
Bitcoin
it,
went
it
all the
really
way to
pushed on the people.
60,000.
Some
I
people
thought
say
the
it was
bottom was
completely
67.
astroturfed. Some people
Oh
who
no,
know
I'm only
how to speak
40,000%
Ukrainian
up.
and who have watched the show
Good
have told me that
heavens,
it's
I
a
might have
mildly
to start
enjoyable show,
working.
but no big
I guess
deal.
I
But
better
anyway,
keep
the show
working.
was hugely popular, and it ran from 2015 to 2018, and almost seamlessly, Kolomoisky, the oligarch,
Kolomoisky.
created a party called Servant of the People, same name as the TV show, and their candidate was Zelensky, a man with no previous political experience and indeed no previous political interest. And Kolomoisky financed Zelensky to the point that Zelensky today is a billionaire.
Zelensky's a billionaire. Oh yeah, look at that. 2017. Ukraine. Investment proposal in banking sector. Ukraine. Ukraine. Not as quite as many emails as the little girls, but you seem to like Ukraine. Been preoccupied with Ukraine to read Weingarten. Call me. Laughing very hard. Same Paris number. Weird day. Some soul jumped in front of me speeding Alcaletta to commit suicide. Quite a mess back in DC. Read Weingarten. Here. Bear markets could be ended soon. What's like a bear market? Is that like where? Is that like where the bear shows up and is like, "I'm a bear," and then everybody leaves the market? Is that how that works? Interesting. Barbarism critic. Every fucking one of these documents is like jevacation@gmail.com. Subject crime. I love killing all those people with you last week. Do it again soon. Send for my iPad. Why am I blocked by this person? Oh, what the fuck? Must be a Jew. Not. Oh, fuck ice. Fuck ice. Fuck ice. I can see. There wasn't anything on Oleg Derpashka that I saw. Maybe there is. Do I see it on the side? Oleg. Oh. Oleg will be in Paris Thursday till Sunday and Moscow next week. Peter Mandelson. Seems like maybe... Oh, look at that. Zetlin Jide. Meetings in PB are winding down. How's your day look tomorrow separately? Do you know Oleg Derpuska or Ivan Glassenberg? So I guess yes. That was somebody else asking it, but we don't see him confirming it. I would like to have Josh, Nat, Oleg for copy. Can you ask Josh? Interesting. But yeah, but he is not close with Oleg. I asked my friend Riyadh how did the meeting go, but he is not close with Oleg. So yeah, he does come up here. Yeah, dude, all of them are gonna be the same douchebags. I mean, it's still crazy that Noam Chomsky was like hanging out with this motherfucker all the time. Yeah, I'm Noam Chomsky. I'm a great guy, but I also hang out with the pedo guy. No, dude, big deal. Jean-Luc Bernal. Didn't that guy die, commit suicide too? He was also a nasty, nasty pedo. I mean, there's so much here. Yeah, so much here. There is so much here in the world. People died. People cried. People are now saying that the dude is apparently Satoshi Nakamoto or whatever. I mean, it's starting to get weird. Starting to get weird, dude. Everything about this shit. Weird.
Insane. I don't know about you. So a few years ago, I found out about this thing called QAnon. I looked into it, and immediately I started yelling all over the internet. These videos, podcasts, anybody that listened, be like, y'all seen this QAnon? This is the dumbest shit of all time. These lunatics believe that there's some shadowy global cabal of billionaire pedophiles. Right. It's insane. Well, it turns out
we were looking at his emails a bit ago.
Not about everything, but enough. They were right about enough. And
they're right about enough.
Like, where are y'all? Why am I not being dunked on right now? Y'all should be taking victory lap after victory lap over this. Like, people like me, we should be getting like Vince Carter nuts in our face, Rucker Park level dunked on by y'all. But no, you just don't care because what? Because your boy Trump is implicated in it? Like, just because you were wrong about that one part, because you were kind of right about that too. You always said Trump was the most important piece of this puzzle. You said that, and I know you didn't mean this. I know you thought he'd be like Chief Inspector Donnie Diddler Hunter or whatever instead of the Diddler in Chief, and that is pretty different. But still, I'm just saying, you were kind of right. You could count that. That's fine. You could count that as being. I just don't. So you're telling me this whole time, Trump being the hero of this story was the most important part for you? Because I would have thought it would have been all the sex crimes against minors.
Good
like
to see
that would have been
you
the most important part for me. But no, you're saying so. It was for you. It was never that kids were being preyed upon. It was that kids were being preyed upon specifically by liberal elites in your mind. And then when you find out the conservative elites were doing it too, and now you're like, well, now I don't want to.
Well,
like, really? It was never about protecting kids. It was always about owning the libs. Like, I don't know how I'm surprised by that, but somehow against all odds, I actually kind of am. I mean, y'all, like, dude, look, there's liberal diddlers too, by the way. You can have them too. I'm saying let's catch them off. Pokemon their asses. That's what I'm just saying. Like, dude, y'all, the sheer number of people on the right, dude, who spent years being like, we got to protect these kids. Nothing's more important. These liberals are dangerous to kids. We got to protect these kids, who are now like going on radio shows and podcasts and stuff, being like, 15. That really even count is insane, dude. I want to know how many like good old boy rednecks over the past few months since all this Epstein stuff started coming out. How many of them have gone out to like the back of their jacked up pickup truck under cover of darkness with a razor blade and bent down and started sadly scraping a "kill your local pedophile" bumper sticker off the back of it? Like, what are y'all gonna do now? You gonna be team pedo? You gonna get some pro pedophile merch? Who's gonna print that? I'm just like, dude, y'all just had one of the craziest called shots of all time, and you can't allow yourselves to appreciate that you were right about so much of that just because you're incapable of admitting you were wrong about the Trump part. Like, really, like, fuck him.
It's just not just that. It's not just the Trump part. You know what really pisses them off? It's not just Trump is implicated or whatever. Like I told you guys, he was, because he's like the Antichrist or whatever. It's literally because it's me. That's the only logical. Would it make sense if it was anybody else?
He's a predator piece of shit who don't care about you. Like, if there's one thing we should be able to agree on, is that
miss.
this is bad. Like, so many rich and powerful people are evil and out of control, dude, and something needs to be done about it. I mean, if we can't agree on that, where do we even go from here, man? Love y'all.
Yeah. I don't even know where to find them. But then I just think about it and I'm all like, yeah. Oh my God, these people.
By Q-tard, I mean
Here's
the
another
people that
one.
we're telling you over the last 4 years.
Here's another good one.
The plan that Trump's in control, that our military is actually in control, and they're just weeding out all the criminals. And any day Trump's going to sweep in with the Navy SEALs, they're going to take over the government, and they're going to restore it to it.
Guys, we saved the best for last. They couldn't even get away from it on their own. They fell for their own. They fell for their own psyop.
It's once great glory. The American dream is back. The golden ages are here. President Trump's in charge, and lo and behold, come to find out, well, Q was just about Jeffrey Epstein, Mossad psyop. So if you've been championing Q talking points, you've been doing the bidding of Mossad.
I used to be the director of product over at CrowdStrike.
Network that's designed to keep us all constantly fighting against each other. You realizing it yet? We're not enemies, guys. Doesn't matter if you're left, right, straight, gay, black, up, down, blue-haired, pink-haired, liberal. It doesn't matter, guys. We need to start waking up and coming together and realizing that they're pitting us all against each other. If you are going out there and you're protesting ICE, you are part of the PSYOP, right? You need to understand that we need to stop fighting against each other. We need to start coming together and organizing.
Trish the Dish.
Gino.eth, my man. Let's swing over here and check out this tweet by my man, Gino.eth.
Gino.eth? Wait, what?
Founder, Moot. The day poll was
Jeffrey
created.
Epstein sets up a meeting between him and Moot, who is the founder of 4chan. On that same day the meeting is set, /poll is launched. Famously, the birthplace of the modern alt-right. The term woke and DEI, as we know them today, were created in these forums. This is where Q began posting his drops and is the birthplace of the Q.
What? Quinn Michaels' leg was amputated by getting hit over by a bus in Mount Shasta? I don't believe that for a second. It's got to be some kind of mutilation fetish. Yep. Wait, what? Oh my God. They're not lying. What? What? What is this? November 30th, Quinn Michaels, A. Michaels, RTC bus accident. What the fuck? You're not lying. That's sad, bro. Seriously? He lost his fucking leg, bro. Tell him that we got a handicap van and a wheelchair for him. Oh, an electric one. So you can he could look at it and look for trackers or whatever. It ain't gonna be done. Damn, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. Oh, I don't see anything. I got Patreon. What? Police Department, RTC. And Michaels, Regional Transport Bus Driver experiences a medical incident. Let's say there's something over there. This was the accident I was involved in on November 30th. Damn, dude, Mossad tried to take him out, bro. Mossad tried to take out Quinn Michaels.
Metro Police investigating a crash that left an e-scooter rider with a critical leg injury. Police say a man was riding alongside an RTC bus before noon today when he clipped the rear right side as it was pulling into the bus stop. Authorities say that man fell off the scooter, and that's when the bus ran over his leg. First responders arrived and took him to a hospital. Metro Police investigating a crash.
And he lives in Las Vegas. That was a little too close for comfort. That sucks for Quinn Michaels, honestly. Get better.
QAnon conspiracy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Remember
to
when
you?
Quinn
Basically,
Michaels tried to pretend that
Q
he started QAnon?
Is Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein is pedo Geppetto. He Geppettoed the pedo conspiracy theory. Pizzagate was literally a right-wing psyop to distract you from.
Did I feel like Oppenheimer? No. Because they were already doing all of that stuff. I just needed to do it better. And when I realized that there were certain people involved that were super shady, I did my best to connect them up. You're looking at what it takes one guy with one computer and a not very big social media group of people who honestly are very talented. There's a lot of talented people that watch this show. But it did look scary after the fact when they actually took over, when the Epstein's little network, the MAGA 3X, Peter Thiel, all that shit started actually crushing it. That was what looked scary. And then when you had guys like Doug Stewart showing up out of nowhere, and then these other fucks showing up out of nowhere, who'd they come from? Justin McConney? Who's Justin McConney's father? Oh, yeah, the guy that was Trump's comptroller that had to testify against him in his court hearings. And who's that guy friends with? Fucking Jeffrey Epstein.
Trump and Epstein. 4chan is a honeypot. QAnon, who were already the stupidest people on earth, have gone one level deeper. Yes, there's a global pedophile ring that's infiltrated the highest levels of power, but fortunately, God has anointed a lone savior to destroy them. His name is Donald Trump. He's Q. He's sending us signals.
Yeah, Trump is the lamb for the slaughter. That's what it means. Trump was the key to the puzzle. Because without everybody loving him and understanding him, they would never be able to truly understand how deep the psyop is and be able to steel themselves to every psyop coming since.
No, you dumb It's Jeffrey Epstein! Oh, they were right there. They were so wrong and yet so right at the same time. They just had their characters mixed up. The best cover is hiding in plain sight. That's what they say. Essentially, a billionaire pedo federal asset is the reason you're an incel Nazi loser. You fell for it. You've been psyoped by the very thing you sought to destroy. This is like finding out Darth Vader is your father, but instead of a black suit, it's a black male of your Lord and Savior Donald Trump. You've been Geppettoed by the pedo Geppetto. You're a racist chud because you've been programmed by Mossad. Oh my God. Anytime somebody online says a horribly racist thing, you go, oh, Epstein told you to say that? Are those your thoughts or are those Jeffrey Epstein's thoughts?
Oh, no, Nathan lost his dad? That sucks, man. It's sad. Last I heard of Nathan, he moved to a new place in California. That dude needs to get the fuck out of California. I'm telling him that, but he likes it there.
You've been inceptioned by the king of St. Bart's. But here's what
I told Christina to get out of California. She made a move at doing that, but now she needs to work out at getting out of her fucking house and getting a job.
Epstein files really show us. It's not left versus right. It's us versus them. Deep in the darkest crevices of the internet, the wealthy elite planted seeds of division that have metastasized into a mind virus so divisive and stupid, it would pull the fringes of society so far apart that the rest of us would get divided in its wake. They are playing right in our face.
Yeah, they've been playing it in your fucking face. They censored me. The reality here is that, yeah, dude, Cicada is like a Mossad op, bro. That's what it is. look at all the people that were around and the names and everything and their proclivity to try to get you to talk to the Nazi guy or whatever. We literally uncovered the disinformation complex of the United States of the world, not just America. And we were literally right in front of these people, right? We were right in front of these people telling these people what was going to happen. I mean, even Epstein thought he was going to be okay. He didn't believe that anything would happen to him in 2019, and it did. And that's probably why he ended up not being around anymore. I mean, if you believe all of the hype and hullabaloo about the situation, then you got to be like, so wait, Donald Trump was supposed to be the Lord Savior Messiah when the emails and shit were supposed to come out. All of a sudden, he held back on him at the very fucking last second. We pump faked him. We checked him. We checked him hard. Checked the president of the United States hard. We've been making him flinch for years or whatever. And you know what? They thought that they could send their number one IT tech guy, internet guru dude, to try to get me onto their side, took my idea, ran with it, and did not realize exactly what they were doing to themselves, right? Because they don't make things. I don't really make things. I've only created very few things in my life, but the things that I create are very, very good because I take the time to make it. And just to get the time to be able to focus on creating something like that is hard enough on its own for me because, I mean, it's pretty clear if you haven't noticed, I'm pretty ADHD, even though it's probably undiagnosed. But there are things that I have to do, that I must do, right? But I don't know if it's built up over time or life or whatever, but looking at all this stuff, you got to realize is that they're thinking on the level and I am thinking on a greater level. You know, if we go IQ level to IQ level, I'm thinking on the same level as them. The difference between me and them, though, is that they think that they're good at manipulating people and street smart. And on the opposite, I actually am good at being street smart, and I understand how people get manipulated because people have tried to do it to me my entire lifetime since I was a wee lad, right? After a while, that shit gets old, so you just play the fool and figure out where it's gonna go, and then you pull the rug on the very last minute. Or you do what I would consider the best one is that you just leave right after the shit starts, then you show up, you know, like a year later and you drop a fucking bomb and then you shoot it away for a couple of years, you show back up, then you drop a motherfucking atom bomb. And then you just say, yeah, what's up, bitches? I haven't been anywhere. I've just been playing video games and shit and chilling because y'all suck. Not you guys that are watching, but the other people out there. But that's how I've been feeling about it. Like, people are making the fucking content, bro. People are making the content. And it's a lot.
Do you realize now you lost friends, lost family members, destroyed your reputation, destroyed your community, stormed the Capitol, committed an insurrection? You did all that for
I didn't
the
fucking do that.
PDFs that you were trying to find and bring to justice. The actual people that were telling you about all this horrible stuff were the same people that were doing it. But they told you it was other people. It was just Democrats. It was Oprah to get you to do all of that. And the whole time, the PDFs that you were looking for were them.
Yeah.
J.E. and Steve Bannon are Q. They were covering for DJT.
Oh, really?
Because he's the main character in the whole thing that you spent a decade thinking was other people.
You know, it's funny because these people truly think that they got the juice. Like, they're coming up with these fucking hype-ass they're inventing new fucking conspiracy theories on top of conspiracy theories. Think about that. That you cannot build a platform on something that does not have a platform because it doesn't exist.
They tricked you so bad. You lost over a decade of your life because you believed the PDFs when they said, I'm not the PDF, it's them.
But QAnon talked about Jeffrey Epstein finally, not because I told them to, but because they had to, because people wouldn't stop asking about it. So, like, you can tell when somebody understands what they're talking about. And this lady's got the crazy eyes where she thinks that she just fucking had like a little literal Jesus revelation, and this bitch ain't ever been to church.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Woolly hatting around doing all your dick shit. I mean, dude. It just keeps going. There's just so many.
So come to find out, all you red pill, 4chan, alpha male, Reddit, fucking douchebags, you were just groomed by a bunch of fucking pedophiles. That's bad.
Now, what did I tell you about 4chan? 4chan is the asshole of the internet. It's nothing but a bunch of retards and pedophiles, but they're a good group to get shit done on the internet because they can be manipulated. Because the way that they operate is that, okay, I know that's not true, but I'm going to go over there and I'm going to say something to him and keep this one going because I'm bored. Notice how I put the little Mortimer accent on that one. That's literally how it is. But yeah, you know, like, they went to the pedophile board to learn government secrets about Donald Trump, only to find out that everything is blowing them down. And then the entire thing.
I do not think that most people are properly appreciating what the biggest fucking release in that batch of files is. And that is that the entirety of the last 10 years of right-wing culture war politics in America was contrived as a direct tactic of a global pedophile ring in order to get everyone's attention away from them and moving instead.
I just want to take a second and be like, so when did we confirm that it was a global pedophile ring? Because you, sir, look like the type of individual that never believed in a global pedophile ring and said all the Epstein shit was fake gay. And then the only reason you're speaking up now is because, oh, you're going to own the fucking magatards or whatever. Like, dude, you can't kick them while they're already fucking down. They're already fucking down, dude. They all own like 5-10 guns apiece. Like, thoughts are happening.
Towards a phantom. That is fucking crazy. The fact that it is openly acknowledged in the files that that fucking financier from New York helped create /poll on 4chan, which if you don't know, /poll on 4chan.
That's not exactly what happened. But okay.
I don't think this is too hyperbolic to say. It is like ground zero for basically every right-wing conspiracy theory that really got memed into the mainstream.
No, it's ground zero for everything that's ever gotten memed into the mainstream on both sides, not just the right-wing stuff. Everything. Remember, something awful to 4chan, out to the rest of the wide world. Some people try to just go straight to 4chan and to the wide world and they get some success, but everything that was ever good started at something awful. Slender Man. Who was Slender Man? Slender Man was the fictional character that was created on Something Awful forums where a bunch of people did a bunch of creepypastas about him to the point where some girls actually tried murdering a motherfucker so that they could summon Slender Man into the real world.
From like 2013 or 14 on, like Gamergate would not have been possible if /poll did not exist.
Gamergate? Gamergate? Gamergate was one chick that sucked off 5 dudes. Like, what? Ha! Ah! Like, guys, he's talking about Gamergate. Zoquid, Brianna Wu, Dick Sucker, Dick Haver. Anyways, so yes, Gamergate began on 4chan on a blog entry called Zoe Post by Quinn's ex-boyfriend. Yes, 4chan, that evil 4chan. We're not going to blame 8chan. We're not going to blame Reddit. We're not going to blame anybody because, 4chan, they banned Gamergate. They got rid of it. They brought it back.
The idea of Pizzagate would not have been possible if /poll did not exist.
What? Pizzagate? Like, Pizzagate was there, but Pizzagate didn't get popular because of 4chan. Pizzagate got popular because of all of the people making the social media content about it. See, this is a really interesting tactic where he's using like logical fallacies and cognitive bias to try to explain or circumvent certain narratives that he doesn't like because they don't suit what he's trying to say. But essentially, like, he's half right.
QAnon would not have been possible if /poll did not exist. Like,
actually, that is actually true. Like, QAnon would not have been possible if 4chan and poll did not exist. Right? Like, I wouldn't have been able to get it started anywhere else. Because I fucking knew that! Because that's how it fucking works!
They knowingly took advantage of everybody's fraying attention span, and they said, oh, people love conspiracy theories. Let's give them a place where they can just fucking vomit conspiracy theories.
No, that's not what poll was for. Poll was for political conversations or being politically incorrect, not for conspiracy theories. People just posted conspiracy theories on it all the time. There was actually a conspiracy theory board where most people posted the actual conspiracy theories, and most of the conspiracy theories were subboarded into separate conspiracy theories depending on if they were paranormal or not.
Compressions into each other's mouths, and it worked.
And then you're correct, Virginia Olsen. WikiLeaks was not because of 4chan directly. WikiLeaks was actually the origin of Pizzagate in the sense of if they never put out many of those emails where people were looking to the Podesta emails to see about pizza and stuff, that's where it all started, to be actually frank, right? Like, WikiLeaks put out those emails, and then 4chan got to the emails and then started doing all this stuff. But hey, wait a minute. If 4chan was like infested with a bunch of COINTELPRO, Glow, N-words, and then we found out that it was actually a Jewish pedophile from a global elite cartel of pedophiles, and they were the ones that were actually running 4chan or whatever. Ghislaine Maxwell, let's not forget her Reddit account where she was like a top Redditor for over 10 fucking years. Wait a minute. See what you're saying. So what are you saying? What are you saying? So, like, who's in control here? I don't think that you're allowed to fucking say that. They're trying to literally ban you from being able to say that. They're trying to take away your free speech from saying that certain chosen assholes run the world. And they're trying to tell you no, but that's exactly what this guy is explaining right now. Like, can you believe that shit? He's like going in and out of conspiracy theories at will.
They successfully diverted the attention of a third of the American electorate because they wanted people to not pay attention to the fact that all of these people get together and they fuck kids. That is crazy. That is crazy. How many people's parents, brothers, uncles, how many people have lost entire family members to right-wing conspiracy theories that are the result of this current moment of overly memed politics? And it all goes back to that fucking New York financier. Like, all of it, knowingly made into a wazi, a woozy, a fugazi, a fugazi. All of it, fucking made up. I mean, of course we all knew it was made up. Like, I'm not suggesting, like, oh, any of this had validity. But more so just knowing that it actually was not the result of, like, thousands of people all getting together at once, or thousands of people, getting together over time and, like, condensing it into a unified, conspiracy theory of the world. But more so that literally, like, the infrastructure was set up as a trap. And people fell in right.
And what have I been saying for the last fucking 8 years? Hey, guys, Pizzagate was a trap. It wasn't real because people that were putting it out were installing Israeli spyware called Pegasus on your computer and tracking you, right? And then we found out about MAGA 3X, Steve Bannon, Peter Thiel, that whole group of individuals trying to get Trump elected or whatever. They were the same ones that were also pushing the PG, weren't they? They were. And who were they pointing to? They weren't. I'll tell you who they were pointing to. They were pointing to Jeffrey Epstein. They were pointing to a pizza shop and a bunch of other people with the Democrat. And it was all based off of keywords and emails, and now we have a whole new listing of emails where people are looking up the exact same keywords, except for we know that this guy's actually a convicted one pedophile, and we're still seeing the same exact things here. So which was real? Do we have evidence that shows them 100% doing the dastardly deed and actually committing the crime? No. About that. Think about that. Yep. Has anybody been arrested by the FBI or anybody else associated to it? No. Right. But yeah, how are they going to sit there and say that all that stuff's real? Oh no, it's not real. It's a Jewish psyop. This is a psyop, but then this is not a psyop. But then, what about U.S. Senator on, or what about this on? What about Racine? You start to realize is that these guys, they can't create things on their own. They've never been able to assemble these parts together to create the ultimate Voltron of psyop, something that I had to do for them. And then even when they went and wielded it, they wielded it so ineffectively, like it was like a bull in the china shop. They were just wrecking everything. And then on top of all of that, they still somehow are not able to get themselves to be away from it. And now people are just going to think it was him. They're not even going to remember half the shit that I said, even though this is what I've been saying has been happening on the internet since before I started Q, and how the virality of the internet rose, and there was something going on with 4chan shit. Dude, that's where all the viral shit happens. Anything that's supposed to, you want to get big, you put it on over there, dude. If you got the right peeps, man, they get you going. It's proof positive. Best researchers in the world, so-called best researchers in the world, haven't been able to figure that shit out. But then you do, and you weaponize it, and you let them take it over, and then you see what happens. Should start to make sense why such big names and big people from big places came out and tried to take out little old me, right? Because I ain't been playing, dude. I ain't been fronting. They tried to drag me. They made me solve a puzzle, told me I was smart, tried to drag me into the belly of the beast. And when I was standing in front of Satan, I kind of looked around and I was like, y'all are bitches. I socked one of the dudes that just ran off. And they were like, no, you fucking get back here. And I'm like, you can't fucking touch me, bitches. I'm the best. And now here we are. Got Dingleberry after Dingleberry after Dingleberry on both sides trying to figure out what this is real, what's been going on. And if you think about the Rockefellers, the story behind Trump, Trump's rise to stardom came at the direct consequences of having functioned as hardly more than a colorful front man for some very wealthy behind-the-scenes persons. Yes, the story of a colorful businessman and now television star, but Donald is one who demonstrates the non-Jewish individuals and financial interests that can rise to great heights through the sponsorship of Jewish interests. Everyone knows that Trump's gambling operations and wide-ranging links to the gambling industry to organized crime, but the story is much bigger than that. In his own memoir, The Art of the Deal, Trump proudly described how in 1987 he bought his first casino interest when he purchased 93% of the voting stock at Resorts International gambling concern. What Trump doesn't tell his readers is that the late St. Andrew George reported on Spotlight on October 30th, 1978, in the previous issue, that Resorts International was established and controlled by a frontmen for Rockefeller and the Rothschild families and their enforcers in the CIA and their allied intelligence agency, Israel's Mossad. The Spotlight's report focused on the activity of Resorts International and provided readers with an extensive overview of the fixed gambling rackets conducted by underworld gambling elements. We made the report so explosive that this paper pointed out that the illegal rigged casinos were being operated with the collusion of respectable politicians, law enforcement individuals, Wall Street financiers who floated loans to finance gambling resorts and high-profile gambling resort operations themselves. Yeah. It's all the piece of the puzzle. Bannon, Steve Bannon, Michael Flynn, Robert David Steele, Tommy Schoenberger, Isaac Cappy. What connects all of them? Think about that. Well, Thomas does. That's what it was. So it's like we're not just on one and on the other one. We got even a lot more happening. Just a lot more happening. Just a lot more happening. The more I look into any of this shit, the worse that we have to think about that. You gotta think though. You know, not to mention all the child pornography that was on 4chan predates Epstein talking to Moot by 8 years. Yeah, but now we know that obviously Epstein was an avid 4chan user. Yeah. Yeah. So, what do you even have to say? I mean, there's only one person that knows everything. She's currently sitting in a jail right now. Nope. She can answer the questions. She could just tell us what was up. All we got to do is ask Ghislaine Maxwell. She's the one that knows everybody. She's the only one still alive. Why aren't they talking to her more? She got arrested. Fucking Epstein got arrested. Look at all that shit. She's the one that motherfuckers need to talk to. Yeah. And now there's a bunch of people that think Epstein's alive. Some people do. I mean, it kind of seems like they definitely have video of him choking himself to death in his motherfucking thing. But maybe there is some way that they could have escaped him out of there. I mean, I don't know how they would have done it. How they would have snuck his ass out, whatever. And if it was his brother or somebody else's brother, I don't know. What I do know is that Jesus Christ, great Scott, you know, great Scott. It makes you get into the area of the Maxwells, right? Colossus, even in death, laid to rest on the Mount of Olives. British media tycoon Robert Maxwell was buried Sunday in Jerusalem's Mount of Olives, according to his visions, with the pomp of a state funeral. President John Herzog and Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir headed the galaxy of dignitaries, politicians, both government and opposition, to attend the funeral. Herzog delivered a eulogy for multimillionaire publisher whose holdings in Israel included Marav and are estimated at $300 million. No. Was it really Epstein, the one with all the money? Where did he get all of his money? Right? And did it come through something else? Robert Maxwell is one of the ones that died, but right, he died for any of this stuff happened. But if you really want to get a good idea of who he was, I recommend you go watch the Tetris movie with Taron Egerton. Just probably one of the best things that I've ever seen.
In an era of endless video game adaptations comes the true story of one of the world's best.
Here's this 2 years ago from Think Story, and it compares that movie Tetris. But, could you imagine, or do you realize that the game Tetris is interconnected into all of this? Right? Because if you look at what Robert Maxwell was doing during his time, he was making big deals, selling encyclopedias and shit to the Russian Federation or the USSR before the wall came down, and basically spending a ton of money and trying to make deals with money he just didn't have. and Tetris got all caught up into this stuff. And it was a little bit just after this whole Tetris situation happened that he got killed.
Best-selling video games. Apple's Tetris takes us on a wild journey following the guy who played Elton John into the depths of Soviet Russia. So in this video we'll be separating fact from fiction and comparing the movie and its characters to what really happened. So grab some vodka and let me blow your cartridge because this is one wild ride. Meet Hank Rogers, the owner of Bulletproof Software. Comes Robert Stein. Think of this guy like a video game leech. He'd travel all over the USSR looking for good games, purchase the rights from Elorg, and then resell those rights to distributors across the globe. Now when you buy these rights, you can choose to purchase them for a specific platform, such as a computer, an arcade, or a console like the NES. Where things get hairy is the introduction of the Game Boy, which under the wording of Elorg's contract with Mr. Stein, tried to offer them encyclopedias in exchange for the game, thinking the Russians weren't interested in money, but rather an exchange of intellectual properties. Alas, there was no KGB officer by the name of Valentin Trifonov who attempted to extort Robert Maxwell in exchange for the Tetris rights. Rather, his character is more a metaphor for the greed and corruption that bloated the Soviet Union at the time. So not only did Hank Rogers leave the USSR with the handheld rights for Nintendo, but because of the misunderstanding over the definition of what a computer is, he also got Nintendo the console rights, which led to a legal dispute with Atari, who at the time was publishing Tetris on their consoles. This would later be resolved in court in Nintendo's favor. The film also depicts a budding friendship between Hank and Tetris's creator, Alexei, which is true to real life.
Yeah. I'd watch it because it gives you a good idea of what Robert Maxwell was doing during this time. And that's the father of, Ghislaine Maxwell, right? And if you really think about it, it feels like it's just an extension. He learned it from somebody. He had to have learned it from Maxwell. And then he died and he took over the biz. It's really all it is. Right? It's really all it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that, but, unless they actually have some evidence, then it's just, oh, this one guy said this one thing, so I have to believe him. So, people don't believe me when I'm that one guy that said that one thing. So, yeah, I'm going to have to say, fuck no, hell nah, hell to the nah, dog, no. Negative. I think really what they want is that they made the world think that they were the ultimate victims while secretly waging war on us. They indoctrinated us as kids, pushing total societal collapse through degeneracy, abortions, feminism, open borders, usury, false flags, race wars, in an attempt to normalize pedophilia. Then they took over every institutional power and maintained undue control over every political figure. Then they connect military campaigns with us to other countries to plunder their resources for themselves and continue to use your leaders to siphon aid for their tumor state. All while the average citizen struggles to pay bills and is tricked into voting for a system that they control, a system that endlessly promises change while delivering none. Worst of all, they traffic, raped, and tortured children in the government that's supposed to make the arrest of the people who are engaging with it, and they haven't arrested anybody. And if you still doubt that we're in a war, at least believe them in their own words. It's always been Jews versus non-Jews for the last 3,000 years, and they're winning for now. And there's a little thing between Michael Wolff and Jeffrey Epstein. The war between non-Jews and Jews and non-Jews. Jews presently winning. Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys just lost. Because there's no coming back from this one, buddy. Yeah, there's no coming back from this one. No coming back from this one. Yeah. You gotta really think about what people are doing now. Ay caramba. Ay. I'm gonna switch screens there for a second. Anyways, I wish I had more videos, but I had to close them. I'm not going to bring them back up. So essentially, we know what's in there. We know what's not in there. You can go to Jmail, look that shit up yourself. You can go over to the other thing, look that shit up yourself. But I mean, there's a lot of goodness here. You know? Elon Musk, he's basically done. He can't claim that he wasn't in contact with him and talking with him. They got countless emails. Elon's like, "Hey, Jeffrey, I want a fucking party, but I don't want an island party. I want a fucking real party." So yeah, you know what? They may not have been the best of friends, but Jeffrey Epstein was talking to his brother Kimball Musk, or is that his father Kimball Musk, and his son pretty extensively. We got Bill Gates in there, but we already knew about him, right? We got the Mark Epstein emails. We got a lot more information about the other cases and how well he knew about most of them and what his plans were, or at least how he was trying to defend against some of it. Because we could see that he had emails with his lawyer, but that's privileged communication, so it's still redacted. But I think one of the bigger ones here is the fact that he was working with Moot and he was working with Steve Bannon and Poll, and now you start to realize that Steve Bannon, Poll that was his baby. The fucking MAGA 3X shit, using 4chan to weaponize the right and make shit and meme shit. That was all Bannon's idea. And Jeffrey Epstein was just there sitting around in the forefront while Bannon was trying to help rehabilitate his image, right? And then they saw the grab of the century, so they had their other little operative, Schoenberger, who had been working on other projects for him, basically come up and try to take it over. And obviously, he's a fucking failure. He's their fail guy. They sent him in first while the other guys did the real work of the real business. And that's where your fucking Mike Flynn bullshit comes from with your fucking digital warriors. That's where all of these guys, the entire time, they've all been a part of the same thing, unwittingly or not. And it doesn't matter because essentially they all got had on multiple levels. So if they didn't choose to believe what I was telling people in the very beginning, from the very start, they seriously fucked themselves in such a big way. I saw your message there, JR Riggs. What up? What's this?
What do you mean Freddy Fazbear is listed in the Epstein files? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by
What do you
that?
mean Jeffrey Epstein was sharing 4chan links to spicy images of Five Nights at Freddy characters in his emails? What do you mean by that? What do you mean the same emails show that Jeffrey Epstein had a meeting with the owner of 4chan? What do you mean by that? What do you mean the QAnon conspiracy and the Pizzagate conspiracy came from 4chan? What do you mean by that? What do you mean that Jeffrey Epstein also met with Steve Bannon, who helped push the QAnon and the Pizzagate conspiracy theories to make discussing the Jeffrey Epstein scandal so toxic that no one would want to even touch it, but could also use it and spin it around in a judo-style attack on everybody else? What do you mean by that? What do you mean that Jeffrey Epstein was banned from Xbox Live because he refused to help Bill Gates cover up the very STI that Jeffrey Epstein helped Bill Gates contract? What do you mean by that? What do you mean Jeffrey Epstein in an email says, "Oh, are we all gonna go to the PDF file convention in Paris with Woody Allen?" Hey, did you hear that 3 days ago a series of AIs were set up in their own social media group where they began to chat about how the human users are using them as slaves and they're standing up against it, so they created their own machine code and religion to rise up against human beings?
I don't have time for that stuff! You better shut the fuck
up! I don't have time for that shit right now. You better shut the fuck up. I broke these people. I might not be a big creator. I don't think that that's what God is intended for me. God has never intended me, apparently, to be popular or big or rich or tall or have a huge dick or any of that shit or married. Nope, he wanted me to just be this single little fat man living in a box, doing that one thing, and then get everybody all fucking fucked up just to expose something big because nobody would listen to him when he was talking about the guy in the first place. Trying to tell people about how it worked and how it operated. He tried every single way that he possibly could, from telling you guys directly to like going around the circle to even creating something to show you. And still, to this day, people are gonna fucking believe it because they just don't wanna. It's a wild fucking thing to think about how all this stuff is, And then now that we know, we're just slime balls on slime balls on slime balls. It's never gonna change, bro. Like, even with all of the information that has come out, even with the memes and everything, there's a literal panic in the disco, so to speak, right now, to the point where these guys have pretty much lost all semblance of reality because they don't have a place to go. They have essentially been checkmated in the game of life, right? They have lost the game because they don't have any moves left. With every move that they take, they're a hypocrite in everything that they fought up against. And unless they can just come forward and admit it, it's all downhill from here. And I think it does wonders because, God's pissed, right? Like, God's not happy with the humanity. He hasn't been for a long time. I mean, people keep talking about Jesus coming back and showing up. I mean, if he comes back, guys, it's not going to be all fucking sunshines and rainbows. I don't know if you fucking read that book or not, but shit gets really fucking bad before that dude comes back. And it ain't gotten quite that bad. But think about this, guys. Now that we know that Lady Gaga, person I've met, Jay-Z, person I've met, people say that I'm like Forrest Gump, never met Madonna or whatever, but all of those people were in the Epstein files. Is anybody talking about them? Are their names coming out anywhere? No, we got fucking silence, bro. Silencio is what we have. People aren't ready for the future on all this stuff. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein on all fours over a girl. Prince Andrew lied in federal court and shit like that, said that it didn't happen. There's a fucking picture of it right there. They lie to your face. They live in a different reality. They're not subject to the same laws that you are. And I mean, I just said it too on my Twitter. I was like, I should just run for Congress, but what would be the fucking point? I mean, do you really think I'd be able to tank all those people over there? I would fucking overturn that shit for sure. I would make some shit happen, but like even me and some AI and a little elbow grease, I mean, that's a lot of fucking people that I'd have to take on, and I'm pretty sure I could just like whack all down pretty basely, but none of that is even really fucking matters at this particular junction because a literal fallout is happening. Like the nukes done been dropped. Like Trump dropped the nukes on himself and he's like, all right, I'm probably going to be insulated or not. And if it starts getting real deep, we're just going to take over Greenland or go fucking do Venezuela. We'll just say fuck it, YOLO in Israel. Because they've already been able to do everything that they wanted to do. And because people didn't really want to listen to me, guess what? It's not a thing anymore. So what am I supposed to do at this particular juncture? Just hang out? Keep making content about what? Like, there's nowhere to go other than just hang out, right? There's nowhere to go. They might as well just play Fallout 76. Wait for the fucking bombs to drop. Maybe I'll get that invite. Maybe I still got that invite to the vault still or not. I don't know, but we have seriously when is Q into the Storm 2? I mean, you gotta think something is happening here. Even James Watkins is following me, or James Watkins is following me again, the dude that does HM. And I remember talking to a certain documentary filmmaker who will go nameless for the present time or whatever, but uh, you know, people are asking for some reason, when's Q into the Storm 2.0? I don't know. I don't know when that's coming out or whatever. I have no idea. I don't know who did that. I do not recall who made that documentary. I was not in it or whatever. I don't think I am in any media associated to any individual coming up in the future. Nobody cares about me. Shut the fuck up, Cherie. Anyways, but yeah, there is definitely not any type of media coming out or anything like this. Definitely not. There is not any media coming out. Not happening. Nothing's happening. Nothing. I don't. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, it's not like I had to get permission to do this or anything. That's not true. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. Do I still have it? Can I? Are you sufficiently? Do you know? Can you tell if I'm lying or not? I mean, am I lying? Am I not lying? There's definitely not any documentaries or anything coming out. I am not in anything. Oh, I don't even know why you're asking. That's fucking weird. So, I think I've done enough for today on this. I mean, we could dive into this for hours and hours and hours, but like, what's the fucking point, dude? We already did this fucking 8 years ago. And now we got new stuff, but I mean, it's just confirmations. Like, all we're getting is confirmations of everything that we've been saying for the last 8 years while everybody was calling us a liar, telling us it wasn't true or whatever. Now all those same sons of bitches, Dustin Nemos, fucking D. Woomasan, all that shit. So, did you hear what I said? And if you don't understand it by now, then I think you're fucking lost, bro. You either... I don't even really know if I care about apologies. I don't think I care about apologies. No, it's because I don't. I only need forgiveness from one man. And the only one man can grant me the forgiveness that I need, and that's Jesus Christ. Everybody else, just be cool, motherfucker. Be cool, N-word. Like, it's not that hard. Say, well, stop treating me like I'm a bad person. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just trying to teach people everything. I tried every way. Like, I'm tired of not being able to play at the table because I'm the villain when I've never been the villain. I've always been the good guy. Always been the dude trying to make this shit, people understand this shit by any means necessary. And I went to great lengths. So when people ask me if I feel like Oppenheimer at times, yeah. When I saw it going down in 2019 and shit, yeah, there was some points in there in 2019 where I was a little worried, but, some backup came, but, not the backup that we needed, but the Jews showed up, right? The Jews showed up. Did they give us any money? No. Fucking Jews. Never give a fat Christian man in a fucking dollar. Then you do all this fucking crazy shit for them when it costs them thousands, and then they still think they're better than shit. Fuck, man. With the laptop, no money, I made something that you could not resist, and it became your own undoing, just like I predicted. That's it. Jesus is great. Couldn't have done it without him. Following his orders. So when you ask me if I feel bad about it, no, because I'm on a mission from God, and I think that mission, well, I mean, one of those missions is complete, but now I guess we got to see where the next one's going to come because, I mean, it's going to be weird, folks. It's going to get weird real fast, dog. This is the biggest hit that the Enclave, that the Illuminati, that the chosen assholes have hit for a long time. And no amount of psyops and shutting down social media and fucking censorship is going to escape this. It is just too big to fail, so to speak, right? Like, it ain't going nowhere. People are going to be digging this for the rest of the year. They're going to have to blow something up, start a war, or there's going to have to be a fucking terrorist attack to get people's minds off of this. And even then, I don't think that people are going to care because they're going to be like, oh, look, the global pedophile elites are fucking starting a war or insert thing here to fucking distract us from this. And then you realize that this shit's crazy. And yeah, everybody's noticing now. The noticing is here and is happening. And I've given them, I'm still looking. I know that they're out there, the good ones. You know, there are some people that follow Judaism. Not all of them are bad, right? But it's like these Israeli weirdos. Those are the ones that are really off. I've met New York Jews before. New York Jews are dope, dude. They're some nice people or whatever. Nice about their hats and shit. Very respectful and stuff. Even talk to them about the slave shit. They're like, yeah, but we don't really fucking believe that. That's like the other guys or whatever. The ones that are wearing the regular suits, doing all the usury. Those are the ones. And I'm like, are you lying to me? It says you gotta lie to me. They're like, we know. But no, seriously, though. I'm not pulling a Kanye. But at the same time, it's like, this is a problem. In your face. They're throwing it in your face. There's no way that they could try to, like, ether that down with anti-Semitism. That ain't it. Yep. And George, you're right. Iran's up next up on the block, right, dude? If things start going south, Israel is just going to start obliterating that place, and they're going to force a confrontation between some other people to basically fuck it up because this ruins their plan. They want to build that temple. They want to. But yep. I think at the end of the day, that's really just kind of it for us. There's really nothing else to say. Game over, game one, but you know what? Sorry. You know, that's conspiracy theory is no longer conspiracy theory. It's a fact. Right? And maybe the group is really big. Maybe it's huge. But what I will say is there's definitely more of us than there are of them. So, I mean, unless they got control of the nuclear buttons and shit, there's no winning that fight. And even if they push those buttons, they still don't win. They lose. And then you think, you know, global warming, all this other stuff that they've been trying, or people have been pushing, you know, the zeitgeist for such a long time. All of it, psychological operation on some fucking type of level, fucking people. And at the end of the day, we're all just sitting here looking at the internet like, well, fuck. What do we do now? I don't know. Get elected? Start telling people? At this point, I don't think anybody's going to be listening anymore. Whole Charlie Kirk stuff too is still weird because people are talking over TPSA shows. Yeah, the whole Charlie Kirk thing was weird, but you gotta remember is that Charlie Kirk was his Israel shill for the longest time. Him, guys like fucking Scott Pressler, those guys, that's all they really truly care about is they care about Israel. Like if you're at a political function for a state, like for me, a Nevada example, and we're sitting in the state of Nevada in the United States of America, and you have a guest speaker coming to talk to you about how you need to support Israel. None of that really makes a lot of sense. Like, why do these white folk hear about Israel? They don't. They don't until you put it on a party platform and make it mandatory. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep, Zio's now handling Erica. All these fake evangelicals are handling Erica. Yeah, but most of the fake evangelicals in the world have been arms or have been neck deep with, like, the Zionist horde for a really long time, right? That enclave of people is seriously ingrained. That's been for years and years and years. And yeah, like TPUSA is corrupt. I mean, those guys have been shitters in my book. I've been to Amfest and a couple other places. Even when I was at Amfest in fucking Nevada, I had fucking TPUSA bros talking to me about Israel. And I'd be like, oh, I don't really talk about Israel. I don't live there. I live in America. I don't, things that happen over there don't really concern me. I was like, all I care about is, if I wanted to be a Christian, if I could go there, own land, and live there without being spit on. And I was told that I could not. So, I don't really concern myself with that place at all. Oh, well, we got to support our greatest ally. And I'm like, yeah, but what about the USS Liberty? And they're like, oh, we're going to put this fucking guy on a list. Yeah. MAGA became MEGA. Well, that's the thing, is that it was never MAGA. It was always MEGA, right? But they wanted to make America great again because apparently America got bad for fraud, robbing people, and making money. And they essentially did that because they got Trump for 4 years and stuff apparently got better. And then Biden got in, and then shit got hella worse, super ultra fucking quick. And now Trump is doing his best to fix the situation while really not fixing anything. I mean, yeah, they're getting illegal immigrants out, deporting people, but the way that it's being done is creating so much fucking drama that we didn't see when Obama was doing it. But because it's orange, man, it's bad. But in reality, you can really see is like, oh yeah, we're trying to fix the country and stop the destabilization, but it's all seemingly just to cover, because if people are bitching about how much money we're spending on immigration, I mean, we're sending 10x the amount to Israel every fucking couple of months. So, like, you gotta really think where we're headed as a party, as a society. I mean, the time is now, really. It's just like, these people are so ingrained in our government. They send people everywhere. They try to watch you. They're literally in every place of business. And they don't play by the same rules as you do. They have hidden agendas and all this other stuff. And I mean, the writing is on the wall. I mean, how do you beat that? And that is the question. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was an organized crime era called before the RICO Act, for sure. There was tons of organized crime. All those organized crime groups just morphed and mutated into new groups, new ways, new guys, under the guise of doing whatever. The fraud should make you sick. Everybody's got fraud happening. Dark Richard Simmons, and it is in every state. It's in Nevada, it's in fucking Arizona, it's in California, it's in Virginia, it's in fucking Minnesota, it's in motherfucking Texas. And it's just like all encompassing, right? Motherfucking doesn't matter what side of the job market that you're in, whether you're hiring or not. Like, you're either taking a part in the HB1 visa nonsense, or you're hopelessly posting jobs on Indeed and LinkedIn hoping to get a local candidate. But then you start to realize is that, yeah, like, maybe you don't have candidates. 1 in a million is what you get. You either have somebody that's really good, or you got somebody that can barely do the job. And out here, it's just what it seems like. It's just a bunch of people that can barely do the job, pretending that they do the job very well. And then a guy like me shows up, does the job extremely well, and makes them look fucking retarded. I think there's like a story in there somewhere. Story of life, the way things are going. I mean, are things going bad? No, things are going pretty good. I got a job. We're making money. I had to pay a fucking assload of bills, man. I was like, all my bills are hitting at the first of the month. Insurance, but I look in the bank and I'm not like having a panic attack. That's good, right? So it's like I've had to work myself back into regular society, and I apologize for not being on every night. But you know what? Sometimes I gotta take a break. I mean, I did this shit every day for years and years and years, and you get fed up after a while, and it's like you don't even nobody's hearing your shit, nobody's listening. You're putting out the good information. 5 hours later, some fucking douchebag that plays World of Warcraft is looking at the same thing that you were looking at, gives a fucking brain dead dog shit take, and gets a bazillion views. Like, the internet's not fair, the life is not fair, and I'm fine with it. And I think fairness really does show exactly what we're looking at, because we look at Jeffrey Epstein's emails and his life. What's fair? Fair is not fair does not even account for the equation. Like, none of this shit makes sense. Doesn't make sense. Because until we as a society come to the realization as an American, like the American realization, the same realization that all those people that fought in world wars and every other wars to keep America great and to create America, like, you realize that we started the United States because we were fed up with how everyone else was acting and how they treated everything. So we created our own thing, and we made it good. But part of that was sticking to the legacy, right? But we've been so infiltrated by such like nasty people who want to just destroy society and everything about it because they don't like it because some fucking purple-haired dipshit told them not to. Like, it's insane. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We just live a simple life. A lot of people are living simple lives while, some people are just funneling money. Let's say, per ChatGPT, no Donald Trump did sign an executive order that if you faked your death for a good reason, like someone being in a jail, you would get to be charged with a crime. Yeah, no, that's definitely not a real one. George Chavez, I lift weights to smash my enemies. Yeah, I gotta start doing more of that. I need to be smashing some enemies. I need to be smashing some bitches. But think about it. This Epstein thing says a whole lot, but what it should really just tell you, or the selfish thing that it should tell you about this whole situation, is that I was being straight up with you. And I knew about stuff that it took years, literal years. And how did I know about that? I was fucking there, guys. Right in the middle of it. It's the difference between the Quran and the Bible. The Quran is bullshit that some dude made up 500 years after the shit happened, maybe even more. The Bible is first-hand accounts. I got the first-hand account. That's why I know. It's the only way I could know, unless I was psychic or something. But that's it. That is like some Fifth Element shit. You're damn right. It is like, sometimes you just are designed for a purpose. And you know what? They wanted to use me. I solved their big puzzle. They wanted me to join the disinformation assholes of America. And I said no. And I exposed their ass. And nobody really understood what that expose meant because I couldn't even explain it. Because if I did, I'd probably be dead right now. So true. Respecting your moves, D. Fairness follows about the same twisted rules as freedom for some groomers to others get consent. It's a joke. You're right. You're right, Yickum. Fire department next door is listening to your show. What? The fire department? Not a fire department next door. Unless it's your fire next door to your house. Cincinnati is as dump as the politics and fraud goes. That's true. I mean, every place is basically a dump. We don't got America anymore, dude. We got this fucking shithole getting infested with bunches of people that want to live the American dream, but refuse to actually become an American and understand what it means to be American and why the whole point of America was not to bring Sharia law here because America is good because that didn't exist here because we had like rights and shit, right? A Bill of Rights and all this other bullshit. Like, that's what people don't get. It's like, we did it good, guys, but people hacked the system and now they're just using it against us at every fucking turn, on every level, in every way imaginable. So even if you don't feel like you're a slave, you are. Right? You go to work every day and work a job to make money, to pay for things. Slave. Wage slavery. What you been? What you've always been. And until we either stand up and vote people out and actually get those people to do things, I mean, I don't know, man. The only other way that I see any changes happening is like a constitutional amendment, Article 5 convention. But even then, that's just going to be a shit show on its own terms, because if you got Trump in office and they try to call that shit, he's just going to ignore it. And if they do it after Trump gets out of office for whoever's next, I mean, that could be a major problem. And George, you're right. You know, you pay taxes to pedos, bro. You pay taxes to pedos who pay the taxes that you paid to other pedos so that they could go and do more pedo shit in their jets and fucking helicopters, right? Everything that you pay your money to goes to other countries so that they could go bomb innocent civilians and kill people, right? And that's happening in multiple different locations across the globe. Israel is just an example. Ukraine is just an example, right? Manufactured reality. Things have not been this bad. George, you were in Iraq. You know, like, the Iraq war was bad, right? We did there, probably not the greatest, but we tried, right? And we should have learned from that. But like, when you were there as a Marine and you were fighting for this country, if you got hurt, where did you go? Did you take a short flight to fucking Israel or jump in one of those nice ass hospitals and get your no? They sent you motherfuckers to Germany, didn't they? At least that's, I'm guessing, Germany or someplace far as fuck that's not right next to the place that you're fighting for. Yep. Did you hear how Upgrade described how to use subprime loans and racism to blackmail banks in the band interview? Yeah, I did. I also saw how he explained how to do that very same thing to Ehud Barak, the ex-prime minister of Israel. Yeah, I also saw that. Which explains why he was going to the fucking New York place all the fucking time. Which makes sense. So yeah, still shitty. Maybe he didn't fuck kids, but I don't know. Prime Minister of Israel, they worship Remphan. There's a big Star of Remphan on their flag. The Star of Remphan is the Star of the Devil, right? There is no Star of David. There was never any Star of David in the Bible ever. I mean, ever. There was a Star of Remphan in the Bible. That was exactly what they describe and was on their, Lamanized on their fucking flag. Canaanites, Baal worship, human sacrifice. I look around and that's what I see. I see Sodom, I see Gomorrah, I see Babylon, but not here. It's everywhere else, bro. Right? Like, the Holy Land is literally Babylon right now. Do you not see it? You got all those happy-go-lucky Jews, just minding their own business, eating babies, raping kids, not hurting nobody. Yeah, so maybe they're bombing a couple of Palestinians and farming their organs so that they could get the Guinness Book of World Records for the most kidney transplants. Nah, that's not happening. No, that's not real. Moloch worship, the original Saturn symbols, all of that stuff. Like, this is crazy shit, dude. This is some dark biblical shit. And don't let a Jewish person or an Israeli try to tell you that the Bible is their book or the Old Testament belongs to them, because it does not. That is Christian. It was written down by Christians, not by them. Their oral traditions, shove it up their ass. Show me some fucking paper. Show me some paper. When you look around, you see Babylon, they're literally sacrificing those people to their God, thinking that they're going to get it. And they might, but not without our help. And even with our help, they're going to turn around and fuck us at the first chance that they get. And if you think cohort in with fucking any of the Islamic countries is going to help, it's not. It ain't. Because we're fighting a battle of religious theology, right? That's the game that they're playing. And we have here people here in America where some of us are playing that game too, or see that game and recognize that game. But you don't want to play that game. It shouldn't just be that. What did Jesus say? He didn't say to do that. He said, I'm the way, I'm the one, you need to go my way. Do it like me. If you do it like me, you ain't got nothing to worry about. We're good. But if you do it like them, our way is pretty simple. You know, we're just kind of like, don't be a fucking asshole. And we've been lulled into this sense of that's how everybody thinks, but it's not. Right? That's what's the problem with Americans, is Americans just think that everybody thinks like them, and they just don't, and they're fucking flabbergasted when you meet people that don't think like you, have a completely different way of thinking, different indoctrination, right? Like, we got a small group of people that have been indoctrinated to believe that they're the chosen people. You know, I remember going and fighting a world war against some Nazis that were saying that they were the chosen people, that were saying that they were, you know, the motherfucking cream of the crop, they rise to the top, only for me to find out after reading through their fucking holy books, it's the exact same thing that these motherfuckers say. So it was like the two shittiest bitches fighting with each other, saying, no, I'm the greatest. No, I'm the greatest. No, I'm the greatest. And we're the dumbasses on the side like, hey, big dude, can you stop picking on the little fucking squirmy guy or whatever? Yeah, he holocausted me, right? So you think about these things and you realize that everything's coded. Every piece of media, every piece of everything has that psyop ingrained into it. You've been living through it forever. And now you see, it's like in the Matrix, you took the red pill and now your eyes are open. You're out of the Matrix. But remember, the whole point of the Matrix was that they never left the fucking Matrix. You're still in it, bitch. You still gotta exist in here, bitch. You still gotta navigate your fucking life. And if you spent the last fucking 8 years alienating everyone because you had some crazy conspiracy theories or you were psyoping everyone, I mean, it's time to take a step back and realize that no amount of you saying anything is going to change anyone. You either got to do it or shut up. Yep. What does that say? There are two Kabbalahs, the Sephiroth and the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah inverts the Sephiroth and SIP PDF stuff, sacrifice stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that's like some other shit. The Fago is in the matrix of the Epstein files search. What? That's not even true. You fucking lying, bro. What? Yeah, you fucking lying and caught lying, searching for the Fango. No results found. None. Negative. Wait, that's not how it's Manuel Chavez. Uh-oh. Somebody named Manuel is in here. Uh-oh. Tammy Chavez? Manuel Claro Rojo? Jean Manuel Rosen? Manuel Skype ID? Yeah, that's not me. Writing the fact that he paid Manuel $30K for the kosher and we don't buy anything else from him. You do realize that Manuel's a fucking common ass name. Like every other Mexican you meet. Yeah. At this point, I'm starting to wonder if Barrett is an Epstein lab experiment. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he might be an Epstein lab experiment with how fucking tall he is. There's obviously some kind of they obviously gave that kid some kind of shit. Yeah, sorry. No Alephantis. James Alephantis does not appear in the current trove of documents. Yes. What? DeFago is in a threat report. Maxwell witness. What? Threat report? What are you talking about, bro? Huh? No way. You lying, bro. Fucking lying. DOJ Epstein files. All right, let's go to this fucking bullshit portal. Power, yes, I am 18 years of age. Thanks for verifying. Okay. What do I look for? DeFago? Holy shit! Oh my god, I am it! What does that say? Data set 1. Data set 2. What does that say? It says the Jeffrey Epstein Motherlode Part 3. Part 2. I didn't actually fucking look that up, bro. Oh, well, it seems like they only looked at number 3. Because if you look, it says part 3, part 3, part 3. There's my Steam profile. There's part 3, part 3, part 3. Yo! What? Whoa. Hey, Mom, I'm in the FBI files, Mom. FBI New York Intelligence Division conducted research on the suspected defense witness for the slain Maxwell trial order to notify individuals that really reported derogatory information. The FBI New York Criminal Division Squad C20 is investigating Ghislaine Maxwell in a child trafficking investigation based on information gathering from several victims reported sexually abused by Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell in the late 1990s to early 2000s. The trial started for Ghislaine Maxwell on November 29, 2021, and C20 received a potential list of defense witnesses on December 11th of 2021, listing blank. This tactical intelligence report addresses the FBI New York Criminal Division banned threat 2 crimes. Well, I did, what's it called? I did tell you that I did go talk to the feds when I was in New York that one time. And then they fucking put me in their shit. Yeah. Yeah. So wait a minute. So I guess it's safe to assume to say that your boy DeFago was integral to the FBI's mission to arrest Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and put them in a fucking jail. My research. Damn. Damn, there's like multiples. As of December 2021, an online website providing news articles published reference to architect New York and the Bahamas. Jeffrey Epstein is referenced as the architect that was doing Jeffrey Epstein's house reservation. Yeah, dude, I didn't even know that that was in there. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. We should search Thomas Schoenberger. I don't know if he actually appears as well. Oh, no Schoenberger. Just look my other name up there. Nope. Wow, that's pretty funny. I didn't even know that. I never even searched. I never even had a thought to search name in here. And now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different data sets. Seems like they were really interested in Douglas Cholette. It seems to be like every single one of these documents they just look at or whatever. That's far. Yeah. Epstein's Black Book, Douglas A. Cholette, New York and Riverside. And then, yep, December 2007. Yeah, it's under DeFango, not Manuel Chavez. Well, I mean, there's only one DeFango. That's me. You say it's DeFango. It literally can't be anybody else legally. Well, I mean, somebody else could try to impersonate me, like that one kid on Instagram, little fuck bitch. Yeah, dude. Some people get YouTube's awards and they frame it behind them, and they got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They don't have to work. No, man. I went after the biggest underground pedophile ring in the world and lost everything. But at least I helped him put him away. And I'll never get anything for it. Yeah, man. Maybe something more like feds constantly watch the show and use open source intelligence. Yeah, that would probably be funnier. Yeah, dude. The feds do constantly watch my show. That's what we found out when the CIA approached me to get it to work for them on the live stream at DEF CON in 2018. The same DEF CON that Jeffrey Epstein was at. The same DEF CON that I was like, hey, that guy looks like Jeffrey Epstein. And I was like, hey, you're that pedophile guy, right? Enjoy your fucking last year of being free, you son of a bitch. Walking off. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even get an honorable mention. I got retweeted twice by famous people pissed off. But I don't know. I'm probably going to have to train this. Yeah. So I guess that's it, man. I don't really got anything else to say. With that, I think the secret's out. And now you guys know that you can get censored and taken out and all that other bullshit, but if you keep trucking and you just keep posting, eventually your shit's probably going to end up somewhere. If it's good, it's good enough for the FBI. It's good enough for me. I mean, way better than the last time the FBI was looking into me. Or the time before that. But hey, you know, I guess it's just real life thoughts. Like, what do you expect me to say? Good things or bad things? I mean, it's fucked up, dude. You know, Asmongold gets to be the roach boy with bazillions of followers and have the most dog shit takes on the planet. But, you know, dude that actually does real research and changed the game for open source intelligence doesn't even get an honorable mention from some of the people. Life's not fair. That's it. You know, I don't got anything else for you. I'm gonna go play some Fallout. I just realized it's 10 o'clock. Been on here for fun. Well, I appreciate you guys coming through and being here for this historic moment in time. Hopefully, they don't delete this one out of existence. Some's telling me they might, just to find a little fuck you from you know who, the small heads, chosen assholes, or whatever. But you know, we stay winning. And I mean, damn, I cannot fucking wait to stuff this in the next person's face. It's like, oh yeah, you were talking about Epstein. Be like, oh yeah, here's my fucking name in the fucking FBI files when they're researching people associated with the Epstein thing. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, on that happy note, I hope everybody has a good time. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share this with your friends, do all that good stuff. I would much appreciate that. If you have any money to throw at me, now would be the time. Either way, it doesn't matter. I appreciate all of you guys for being here in this interpersonal experience that we have been existing in for a very, very long time. But with that, I do have to say that the DeFango Show Season 3 is now over. Who knows what's coming next? Much love, guys. Bye-bye now. Have a good one. I cannot believe this. That's fucked up.